are the American Indians. Copper color Indians, baby. A real Indian, American Indian is me, not from Africa. Remember that.
African Americans here, but they recently moved here from places like Kenya, Ethiopia, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Zaire. But now the brother whose family's lived in this country for generations, occupying space in all the locations, New York, Miami, LA, Detroit, Chicago, even if he's wearing a dashiki and sporting an afro. And if you go to Africa in search of your race, you'll find out quick, you're not an African American. You're just a black American in Africa taking up space. Why you keep trying to attach yourself to a continent where even if you got the chance to go and you went, most people that wouldn't even claim you as one of them, as a purebred dog.
And we are not Africans. We are not African. Are you an African, baby? Nigga, you a lying motherfucker. Nigga talking about.
ISO. Dama. Woo! Hey, there's so many lies, so many lies. Hey, there's so many lies, so many lies. Yo, there's so many, hey, there's so many, yo, there's so many, yo, there's so many lies. Look in my eyes, they know I'm the truth. Knocking them down every time I step in the booth. We ain't gotta lie, they know we the vibe, we living in proof. It's young, conscious, shoot my life a movie, I live in a spoof. Ain't no sticking around, I'm on the move, I'm checking the dudes. Yeah, it's only us two, so you know we copping that coupe. We on the roof, smoking dope, look at the view. Yeah, we used to chill on the stoop, now we out here breaking the news. It ain't what you really could do, cause we ain't got nothing to lose. We ain't switch side with no cruise, we just stayed out of the loop. Now we out here letting it loose, every shot we took it was swoosh. Gotta get it, ain't no excuse, ain't left to prove. Hey, yeah, hey, there's so many lies, so many lies. Hey, there's so many lies, so many lies. Yo, there's so many, hey, there's so many, yo, there's so many.
Yeah, ask them a real question, yeah, I bet it's all lies. Hey, they won't cross that line for a fact that's offsides. Hey, too much penalties when they run this back, yeah, it's fines. Hey, could've been here with us, but we do not force no vibes. Hey, she gon' ride the whip and let me park it in the driveway. They just want the praise like they Yahweh. Getting so much bread, yeah, the ride way. We done already won, yeah, that's worth the ride way. But they still lying right through their teeth, and they still hiding behind many truths. They was D9, watch my every move, tell them keep time. Leave that shit on scene, I ain't replying. Less I know you, that don't mean I'm Hollywood. That just mean I'm Hollywood. All y'all, I probably stood on the falls, all cause. More times I probably should. I don't know nobody like us. You see how much time it took.
Yeah, hey, there's so many lies, so many lies, so many lies. Hey, there's so many lies, so many lies, so many, there's so many, hey, there's so many, yo, there's so many. Woo!
Hey, there's too many lies. Hey, yeah, ISO, Indies, Dama.
ISO, Dama. Hey, there's so many lies, so many lies. Hey. Yeah. Conscious. Matic. Alright, so far away I come from. I sit and wonder about the times that it made sense, but nowadays I don't worry about what's past tense. My younger days I used to hang around with mad friends. If we just fell out, I don't really know what happened. A lot of people come around and keep you stagnant, distraction. So you don't show them no compassion. We was really out here grinding, really rapping, stacking them Franklins, them Grants, and them Jacksons. Imagine if we would've never chased our passion. We probably would've never knew what happened. They was all just talk, we showed action. Once they leave, don't you let them back in. Just pack up all their stuff and send them packing. I'm blacking on anybody thinking they could act up with me. This vibe ain't for free, cause where I'm at in life, I'm only focused on me. Note to self, know yourself, focus on your health. They don't wanna help, then fuck it, do it by yourself. Don't give them no excuse to put you on the shelf. If it's me, myself, and I, then it's no one else. Yeah. Self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Yeah. Self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Love yourself.
Yeah, practice what you preaching, but clearly they're not practicing entitlement and pride. Yeah, those two things they factor in. Spiral out of control just from all the bantering. When they accustomed to talking behind your back with all that chattering. I remove myself before I abuse myself. Talk about self-love, but you gotta do it yourself. Yeah, I won't act too good for no help. We all healing now. Said some things about me that ain't true. How you feeling now? Even at my lowest, they tried to find a way to bring me down. Big y'all up for years, ain't talking just the brand or the sound. I don't throw things around, I do it from the heart proud. Mama just wanna see her sunshine, removing them dark clouds.
Yeah, self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Yeah, self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Love yourself.
Hey. It's crazy. I don't know why this keeps going. Messing up bad. Hey, family, trying to get this damn camera right. It's blurry. It got like a blurriness to it on my end, but I guess it'll fix itself. It has to do with my green screen, but it's all good. Hey, everybody out there, y'all smash the like button, please, as you come in. I really appreciate it. All right, that's cool. Oh, y'all listen this time. Hey, old dude. You know what? Not a coincidence. I'm gonna let you come up on the panel because what you mean, what you do to me. You and that guy JoJo, you go over on you was in Cuddy's chat room. Wait a minute, I gotta shout my chat out first. Hey, Bad Saint, Old Dude, Inspector Radget, Dean General, Chief Hawk Eyes. Let me see, St. Louis. Hey, love. Hey, Jeremy. Hey, Rodney. Hey, there's a brother, Rodney, that is going to be getting in touch with you because he shares the same last name as you. And it's crazy. Um, it's really crazy. And he said that he got a lot of family. This damn thing keeps fading out. I can't stand it. I got to get my lighting fixed. I do. This really is sucking right now. It's irritating me. Lady Moon. Hey, beautiful Sammy. Hey now. Oh, hey, Straight Smoke. Hey. Oh, let me see. Adam Real, 203 Long Gang. I'll take this down. Darius Matthews. Hey, y'all, and everybody watching. So now let me get to Skywalker. Hey, original Skywalker, girly girl 72. And I want the sister to come and get up with the sister that wrote a beautiful research paper. And I got to get back to her so she could pick a day to come up here and read it. She did a phenomenal job writing a paper about our ancestors. And I got to get back to it. I've just been so busy with genealogies. I've been overwhelmed doing genealogy, but I love it. This is what I do. Damn, this damn camera. Stop it today, would you? 1 minute, it goes right. I just need you to work right, camera, please. Stop doing this. So not a coincidence. You know, you and some dude JoJo. The nigga been following me forever, you know, trying to find fault in me. If y'all want to be African, that's cool. But don't try to throw that on all of us with the amount of evidence that I have. And I'm not putting stories to it. What it is, not a coincidence. You suffer selective hearing when I'm lecturing. You do. You suffer selective hearing. That's your problem with me. Because you hurry up and you go try to find that African. And you're not. And we're going to go over that today. And I hope you're listening, you and JoJo. Because, you know, you get over on Cuddy's channel. That's why I don't really go on Cuddy's channel. Really. I normally go on Chief's channel because in that channel, you know, Cuddy really likes to see people dialogue. And I don't dialogue with everybody. I don't. And sometimes he like to see people argue and fight. And, you know, sometimes I be thinking, you know, that people be liking to see women fight and cuss each other out and shit. Now, people don't like me, right? And they have this in their heart, you know, because I'm getting so famous. Hello, I've been in here 5 years. I'm going on 6 years now. And I studied for 6 damn years now about my our history. And I bring the thunder. That's why I'm Thunder. And I'm going to remain being Thunder. And I'm not going to be debunked. You know, I'm X generation. I'm not no damn boomer. Not that there's nothing wrong with the young boomers. Let me just straighten that out there. But I'm Thunder. And it's definitely and dude gonna first y'all get in the chat room, tell me I'm lying and I'm making stories up about the census, and y'all don't be listening. Y'all don't be listening. When you know the dude got up on the panel talking about, oh, Sister Betty said that on the they said all the Negroes spoke nothing but Indian languages, and you're gonna learn today the language we're speaking is our language. The language we speak is our language. That's a fact. Everybody that came over here were foreigners. And that's a fact. Every European came over here are foreigners and they have their own languages. The predominant words in English that we speak our Indian words. I don't know how many times did Ab Power and Chief Holiday go over that. And that is a fact. When they came over here, they spoke their languages. We taught them our languages. And when we went in their school, they came up with speaking English in a manner in which we can communicate with each other to their liking, using our own language. Like, we didn't say full words. Like, I don't know about all that. Okay? That's Indian language. I don't know about all that. Or I don't want to go. Or I'm finna go. Or I don't care. That's our language. And I've read readings where it said Southern Choctaw. That's speaking in a heavy Southern accent. Southern Cherokee. It's our language. We are speaking our language. We are literally speaking our language. Right now, to this day, white people that grew up in their neighborhoods, they do need an interpreter so that they can understand what we're saying. They still don't understand us. To this day, they don't. I'm telling you, my former governor, he is white, man. And he grew up in Connecticut. He was born in Connecticut. He lived and was raised in Stamford, Connecticut, which is literally 10 minutes away from where I was raised, Bridgeport, Connecticut. And do you know that his team could not understand Negroes in the hood when they're speaking? They needed me. They needed me there so I could make sure that they understood clearly what our people were saying that they wanted to see changed in their urban community, in the hoods. And I had to be there because literally, even now, in my office, white people can't understand. They take everything we say in a negative way. They still do to this day. Literally don't understand us. And we are speaking our language. And they still can't understand us. And we're using the same words. They were raised in the suburbs, a different way of understanding choice words, and we were too. If you look at the British, when they come over here, whether they're white or West Indian, Jamaican, they speak British dialect. We don't always understand Jamaicans when they speak to us. They use different choice words. We do, all right, but we got to listen for a minute to make sure. Because they use different choice words. It's all about choice words. And see, what the European did was pick the choice words of our words and made them into complete sentences, still using ours because it wasn't their language. When you're Irish, you speak Irish language. When you're French, German, Russian, those are all European countries. Italian, they speak English. They speak our language. Facts. They just use what you call, we speak Old English because it's our original tongue. Facts. And then they talk about, they had to take, when I said they had to take Negroes around. I'm going to go through all through that. And I'm going to prove that we're here again. And I'm going to prove that when we first started getting enumerated on the census, that we were the Indians that stayed when the 13 colonies expanded. There was already Indians in Oklahoma before Black Wall Street was built in the 1830s in Oklahoma. That's because those are the Indians that went over there. But they didn't go on a reservation and stay because they didn't have to. They were already there. A lot of them left from Florida and went there. And then there was some that were just already there before Oklahoma was even a state. Because Oklahoma wasn't always a state. It became a state because there were people there on the outside of the reservation living. And it happened to be people that built the Black Wall Street, and white people too was out there because they're the ones who burned down the goddamn Black Wall Street for jealousy because our businesses was booming. We were all over these 50 states before they were even 50 states. Many of us that lived in Chicago, everybody, Chicago, before it was even called Chicago, there was Indians already living there. In all the 50 cities, there were Indians already living in the inner cities before they were called inner cities. At one point, they were not called inner cities. They didn't become inner cities until they became states. That's where you get your city from and your states from. So when you see people living in Chicago, some of them didn't come from the South. They were already there before they were even states. It's just Chicago, the location is what they determined what would be the state. That's all. But there was Indians living there. Yeah. Now, a lot of people from Alabama and Mississippi did move to Chicago after they got pushed off their lands. But there was already Indians there before it was called Chicago. Same thing with New York, all the 50 states. Before they were actually named the state, there was already Indians living there. We were all over. It's just so happened that some of our areas that we lived in became the state after it was established. Before, think about it. You had the 13 colonies up here north, but all the other areas of the land, they were people living there. There were Indians living there. They make it seem like the states was like the area of where each state is, it was empty. No, there were people there, our people. And they just said, okay, this is going to be the state. All right, this is going to be the state. Even if we live there or not. And that's a fact. See, we keep looking at things from a state perspective. What I want you to do is focus on the 50 states as just being areas without no names. They were Indian territories. Just think of all the 50 states being areas, including Canada. Just think of it as being territories. They were territories. Facts. Thank you for that. There were no, let's just say, there were no states named at all. None. None. Indians lived there. Some of us was born in the hoods, and that's just where we were. And later they named them the hoods. This damn thing got to be fixed, man. All right. Take it all the way back and try it. Let's see if I do that. Okay. So what I was trying to tell, not a coincidence, and that guy JoJo talking about, I'm here to learn. But you said this, and you said this about the census. Let me tell you something. We, as Indians, didn't get put on the census, literally, until 1870, after the Civil War. That's when we first started being on the census. Prior to that, we were not on the censuses. We were Indians prior to that. We were already in the areas where we were. We was never on their censuses because we weren't part of their government. We were part of a government that they wanted to remake all over. And I'm going to show you that. Let's show you. I'm first going to show you where, so you can see again. See this again. Hey, Cherise. Yeah, I want you to do your thing. We got to pick a day. I want you guys now, if you're listening, not a coincidence, and JoJo's butt. Okay. Thanks, y'all. Yeah, I went and got this stuff braided today. I did. That's why I took the day off today to get it rebraided. I can't take them way. Oh God, I can't. I like my hair to breathe and I like to scratch my scalp. And I always loved it. It's so simple. I can put my hat on. I could go. I could go. Just that's why I don't wear nose ring. And girl, I got a hole in my nose. I know you're here, not a coincidence. And I want you to listen. I had an earring in my nose. I still got a hole in my nose. I was wild back when I was like 26 before I was pregnant with Mookie. For real. I still got my piercing right here. I still throw that joker in once in a while. I do. I got a big old my birthstone sapphire. And I pop it in, when I want to get sexy and stuff. And I pop the one in my nose. But I don't wear that, during work. Oh, yeah. I was a ring popper. Pop one in right here. The only ring I never liked was the one up here that they put up here. Now, my nieces and my daughter, they got the ring, the piercing right here. She got her tongue pierced. I ain't doing all that shit. I got this in my nose, but I'll throw it in when I get ready, but I don't need all that right now. But anyway, now, what I want to get into, y'all, I want you to see for yourself. First thing you have to learn is, and if you're listening, not a coincidence, there were only very little, not a whole lot, but there were on this landmass Europeans and what we call, they named us Negroes. And I'll use modern day words. I want to use modern day words. There was only blacks and whites on North American mainland. That's all. There were no Mongoloids and all this other stuff here. It was just blacks and whites. That's it. Black people and white people. That's all that was here. Look, let me show you. Let's go back here. Not a coincidence. I want first, I want to establish who the hell was here. Where is it? Okay. Let's start in 1755. Now, these governors was born prior to 1755. Okay? Let's say that they were 50 years old or whatever. All right? We had governors here in the constitutional state, 1755, Connecticut. All right? A black governor could be called on to perform functions within his community. In many towns, the governor meted out punishments and upheld law and order among the African inhabitants. Now, they didn't even have that terminology in Connecticut. There were no Africans in Connecticut. He also acted as a mediator between black and white communities. Now, listen to that right there. You got Africans, okay? They're saying African inhabitants, which was not, because this came from our historical site and they updated it to use modern terminology. Okay? They updated it to use modern terminology. If you go on their historical site, you can see the date. They updated this shit in 2023. Black governors often appointed as lieutenant governor and deputies. Now, when Captain Thomas's Seymour, okay, he was a black dude. Slave was elected Connecticut first black president. Now, I'm going to tell you, if I'm a senator, right, well, just like it is today, if I'm a senator, right, in modern day today, I could be somebody's slave because that's the terminology they used back then. They didn't use the word employment. They used slave. So say like you have a senator, right? That's a part-time job, being a senator or a representative. They have either a company of their own or they work for somebody. A lot of them could be like owner of a construction company, or they could be like a CEO or a manager in a construction company. So let's say it's Pop's construction company. Pops could say, "Oh, um, Senator Buckethead is my slave, and he's about to be the governor." That's because he works in Pophead's manufacturing company as a manager. He's a slave. Same thing today. Some of these senators don't have their own companies and they work for other companies. You got some senators that's vice that are superintendents of the school system here, and they're a slave to the government. They're a manager, a superintendent. So, our slave, Superintendent Johnson, he's the governor. That's the same shit. That's why I keep telling you, you got to understand the word terminologies. Doesn't mean, ain't no slave gonna jump up and be no damn governor. You got to understand the word uses back then. If you look up slaves, it tells you they're manager, directors, CEOs, they're all that. Supervisors, they're called masters. If you look up masters, what a master is or who a master is. If you all work and it's not your own company, you report to somebody. That's your master. Look it up. So that's cleared out. So now, they he also acted as a mediator between the black and white communities. There's no other community but the black and white communities. Everywhere on this landmass on the mainland. We only talking about the mainland. We ain't talking about Central and South America or Canada at this point. We talking about the mainland. Black and white communities. No other race of people. Just black and white communities in 1755. And the funny thing, they go, Colonial Chester slave London was elected black governor, all right, of Connecticut. His wife Betty was thought to be an Indian. Get out of here. An Indian. Was thought to be. Get your butt out of here. He moved to West Simsbury, where he's still called governor. These are all black governors. Wake up. There's a black and white community. They ain't say no Mongoloids, no Asians, none of these people. Man, where these people at? Let me show you something. Was that a funny one that I show Empress? None of these people was in Connecticut. At the bottom, that old Photoshop picture talking about we the original Southerners. No. In Connecticut, let's go. Now, I showed you the black governors. Now, I'm going to show you the damn census in 1782, with the Indians and Negroes. And I keep telling y'all that they made that goddamn quadroon the goddamn Indian. Yet the Negroes don't speak nothing but Indian languages. If they speak Indian languages on the goddamn reservation, what do you think they spoke off the reservation? If they didn't speak nothing but, and that wasn't 18. Oh man, we gonna go there. They put the Indians and niggas together. Because the Indians got that damn nigger blood. But they picked the one with the more than the white features to be the Indians so they can have the goddamn land. If nobody don't wake up to that and smell the damn coffee, why didn't they put the Indians with the white people on the census? Why? All that was here was black and white people. There it is, finally fixed. Ain't not a coincidence. Where you at? Because I want you to see this. I want you to understand this. You understand that. There were no like Mongoloid looking people like they trying to make Indians. Could y'all give me a 1 and let me know if y'all understand that? Because we just talking about mainland. We're talking about black and white people. Oh, okay. He said he see it. Now, not a coincidence. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna say sorry for cussing at you, but you really made me mad. Now, not a coincidence. I'm gonna go and pull up the document. That particular document was the census 1860 from the land. Hang on. We not seeing no other people or race of people here, but white people and black people. Me and you. That's it. And me and you, if it's me and Trump on this bitch, that's all that's on this land, man. Me and Trump, me and a bunch of Trumps and Joe Bidens, right? And a bunch of me's. We have babies. They're a bunch of damn mulattoes and quadroons and octoroons. That's how you make them people. Me and Trump and Biden, we all made babies. They became mulattoes, and the more they stuck with the people that looked like them, they became these quadroons and octoroons and quintroons. That's how you made it. Ain't no. We didn't make none of these kind of looking people. None of them was here. They was in Puerto Rico or South America or Philippines or some goddamn where. These are not the people that was running around here in the Civil War and fighting in South Carolina. Just like they took all the Indians and kicked them out of the tribal nations. The ones that got them the blood they needed to claim the land, the one drop. If she has sex with a white man, oh, you got to go now. We keep the baby stay, and he going to have the land. And kicked all the blacks out. All these octoroons and quadroons over here all in the back. And they kicked all the blacks out. Look at this. Not a coincidence. Let me take this down for a minute. They expel their black members. How you a member if you black? Because you a damn Indian. So they wanted to kick them out. They got the blood. Now, all right, get your monkey ass out, blacks. There's some dirty, low down stuff. Now, well, here we go. Let me see. I want to get this. Where is it? I want to read this for not a coincidence. Oh, here it is. And you already know which census this is, that 1860 census. All right. And this is what JoJo was not listening. He thought I was talking about the United States. I'm talking about when these are the 5 civilized tribes in Oklahoma. So now they're saying the citizens of the 12 tribes, 5 tribes, watch with a jealous eye each movement of the United States or its agents. Because they was watching, because they already been pushed out to Oklahoma. Okay. And you know what? There wasn't a lot of white people there. They was just like managing the office, the quadrooms, managing the office. Some of them wasn't even members. They were just citizens of the tribe. When you a member, that's because you're an Indian. Can't just be a member of a tribe. You got to have some blood quantum. And they kicked out the members, not the citizens. Y'all give me a one if y'all understand that. They kicked out members. The only way you can be a member of a tribe is if you are, oh my goodness, you got to have blood quantum. Give me a one. Oh, not a coincidence. Gave me a one. Oh my goodness. So let me just pull that up one more time. Well, y'all seen it. They said it kicked this blacks members out. So now we're in Oklahoma on a reservation. As questions of vast moment are pending, this made them chary of answering questions proposed by the enumerators or special agents because they didn't want to answer no questions and nothing to these damn enumerators. But a serious difficulty was met in the answer to "Are you an Indian?" Now, why is it a serious difficulty? Why is that? There's got to be a reason. And we're going to go dive into that even after we read this. It's either you're Indian or you're not. Because something went down. Now, under the laws of the 5 tribes or nations of the Indian Territory, a person white in color and features is frequently an Indian. Being so by remote degree of blood or by adoption. So the white people in there could have been adopted, or they could have had like a distant relative. That's blood. But how? It had to be the Negro. There was no other race of people here when they got pushed to Oklahoma. It was just blacks and whites. And we're going to see that. We're going to show you that. There are many whites now resident claiming to be Indians. That's a very serious word, not a coincidence. Because a lot of white people was claiming because everybody know their ancestors wasn't no Indians. But all right, go ahead, you Indian. There are many whites now residents claiming to be Indians whose claims have not as yet been acted on by the nations. Either you Indian or not, and they know. That's a hot mess. That whole sentence. Wouldn't you agree? Um, not a coincidence. Yeah, it's on page 3. Right. It's a whole book. You're absolutely right. I just, clip that out. Negroes are frequently met who speak nothing but Indian languages. Negroes. Now, not a coincidence. Nothing. And when you look up the definition of nothing from nothing leaves nothing. You got to have something if you want to be with me. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. These Negroes don't speak nothing but Indian languages. And when understanding that, now let's just say that they were not on the reservation in Oklahoma. Let's say they didn't get pushed over yet, right? And they're in their areas before they went on over to Oklahoma. They were speaking, the Negroes were speaking Indian languages, baby. They didn't change. You mean to tell me their languages changed when they got pushed to Oklahoma? No. Indian languages is what we are speaking, not a coincidence. And I assure you, not a coincidence. And I think you know this. A lot of white people still don't understand us when we speak because they squinch. It takes them a minute to understand. It's just like when a Puerto Rican person first and Mexicans and first learn how to speak our language because they speak Spanish, but they now know how to speak English, and we listen to them, but and they're explaining to us the Puerto Rican, and we're listening. We understand them. We get it. What they're saying, we get it, and they're just another Indian speaking our language. It's just that the Puerto Ricans are speaking the language of the people who colonized their land. Right. And our language, believe it or not, it's very very hard for you to believe that we're literally speaking our languages. Like me here in Connecticut, you know, I'm not an Indian of the South just based on my dialogue. Now, literally, like by bloodline, yeah, I am, but I've been in Iroquois territory all my life, 57 years. So I speak more like Iroquois and Algonquin people. Now, when I go down south, our sisters and brothers, they have southern accents. So they're speaking the southern Indian languages, but it's just in the accent way. We still speaking the same language, but guess what? Even though I'm here in the north, not a coincidence, I can go down south and you know how Darvis speaks, right? I could clearly understand what he's saying. Clearly. I have no problem. But now let's take Darvis to a corporate office and Darvis starts speaking to people. Listen here, Queen. I don't know what you did, but they need me to get them to understand what Darvis Balak is saying. You know how Darvis talk. That's how the Indians down south talk. We still speaking and using the same words, but they have a heavy accent, and they just it's frustrating to understand them in a business meeting with a bunch of white people. I got to be in there because he talks real fast and they don't understand him, even though he's speaking English. But me, I could stand there and understand. All of us can. If we on the panel with Darvis, nobody on the panel, none of the Negroes on the panel dialoguing with him need him to repeat himself. Nobody. I'm from the north. You have people from the West Coast on the panel. You have people from Midwest on the panel with Darvis. All you had Indians from all over the Northeast Coast, West Coast, Midwest on the panel when Darvin's speaking. None of us don't have a problem understanding what Darvin says, even though he talk fast as hell and it's Southern. And we don't even have to tell him, could you repeat that? We understand them. And this is what clearly what it means, sweetheart, when it says Negroes are frequently met who speak nothing but Indian languages because we understand Indians all over this landmass, love. You got to get out your head that the language that we're speaking is not our language. So if, all right, original Skywalker says he's from Alabama, Mississippi, into Cherokee cattle lands. So you could be speaking Southern Cherokee. You could be speaking Southern Choctaw. And guess what? I migrated from South Carolina to here in Iroquois territory. I'm an Indian, but I can understand Southern Cherokee. I can understand the Southern Cherokee, the Southern cattle. It's the same thing. And I think when you open your mind to say, I get it, because you got to understand Europeans that came over here, just because people came from England, which is UK, doesn't mean we're speaking their language. They're speaking our language. Yes. So we go on. Negroes are frequently met who speak nothing but Indian languages and are Indians by tribal law and custom. Now, I'm some real stuff. Negroes are frequently met. When you see frequently met, that means when they come on the reservation, you see niggas on the reservation, and we don't speak nothing but Indian languages, and we're Indians by tribal law and custom. Of course we are. Why didn't they say that we're Africans by tribal law and custom? Because we were not. And how did Europeans become Indians when there's only black and white people on this landmass? No Asians, no nothing. If you Google not a coincidence and see when Asians began being enumerated on the census. Asians wasn't enumerated on the census back then. It was just black people and white people, if I'm using modern day languages, on that tribe. They not a coincidence. What we visually see as that look like these people here. Let's see. These comical people. These people wasn't on those censuses on the in Oklahoma. It was just blacks and whites. The whole sheet. Look at it. And I know you got that book. Look, there wasn't no Asians labeled on there. I remember when I pulled up the census for Chicago, they had one Asian in the whole entire Chicago. One. I'm like, where it come from? It was a Chinese person. One. I gotta go find it since I was laughing. So back to our document. Okay. So when you come up on the reservation in Oklahoma, I'm not talking about in the 50 states. I'm talking about where they were pushed to. The five. This is a combined report. I only pulled out. It tells you the citizens of the 5 tribes. That's Cherokee, Chickasaw, Chickasaw, Seminole. All of them are saying this. When you come up there, we don't speak nothing but Indian languages, and our Indians by tribal law and custom, and others are met who call themselves Indians who have not yet been so acknowledged by the tribes. These circumstances necessarily produce some confusion as to the number of Indians separately designated. However, the total population as given is correct. The difficulties surrounding the taking of the census were augmented by the fact that in enrolling the Indians, it is frequently occurred that it was necessary to equip 2 and sometimes 3 interpreters to accompany the enumerator to converse with the Indians in the same locality. And then when you talk about the same locality, it could have been off the reservation, or it could be in the neighboring tribes like the Chickasaw, Choctaw, you know, um, uh, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Seminole, all of them, because those are the 5 tribes. If we're going to keep it right there, but there, not every person went to live on the reservation. Now, Oklahoma, before it was a state, it was land, it was territory. And all those people, when I'm going to show you. I'll get to that part. But for the meanwhile, it was very clear who spoke not but Indian languages. They said nothing about the white people speaking Indian languages. Nothing. The residents of the 5 tribes, citizens or otherwise, pay no taxes or real or personal property, and there are no assessments for this purpose. So They literally needed to take me and you around. So just say like you walking around because that's not their area. I mean, if you're coming from DC and you're enumerating and shit on it, that's not you're not familiar with that area. So you want to walk around with a Negro because it might be Billy Bob and they might have questions. And you really need me there to explain, help the numerator understand what Billy Bob across the street is talking about. Because so that you needed to communicate because they still don't understand us today. They don't. So now let's get to the part where I really need you to pay attention. Not a coincidence. I want you to watch this part. Let me pull it up. Where is it? Mm-mm. I think it's up here. Probably is. Yep, here it is. Okay, now we're going to go back because that was 1860. We're going to go back to when they got there in Oklahoma. We're going to go back to 1830. Okay, not a coincidence. And 1830, just a year after taking office, Jackson puts a new piece of legislation called the Indian Removal Act through both houses of Congress. That's the House and the Senate. It gave the president power to negotiate removal treaties with Indian tribes living in the east of the Mississippi. That's us over here in the east. Under these treaties, the Indians were to give up their lands east of the Mississippi in exchange for lands to the west. Now, here's the ball buster. Those wishing to remain in the east will become citizens of their home state. Now, remember in 1755, now, we had all these black governors and shit. There was and I proved to you there was just we'll use modern day language. There was only black and white people, black and Europeans here. Those wishing to remain in the east will become citizens of their home state. So this is a push of the Indians off the land, not a coincidence. The white people, not the Indians. The Europeans. Right? Can we agree to that? Not a coincidence. Could we agree to that? Hey, I am the one. There was number of white people and black people. We already established that. Even on the census, they're not listed. No other race of people's listed on the census, but black and white people. And then they categorized the mixed black and white people. You were either mulatto, or you were an octoroon, or a quintroon. But it was the quintroons who were further whited out, that was given the power. Well, it's not a coincidence. I want to know if you are listening. See, he's going to be thinking, he's going to be saying stuff. It was just black and white people here. And so you're telling these Indians to, by treaty, to go, it's voluntarily, to go to Oklahoma. Who they talking to? The black people or the white people? Because that's all that's here. Are they telling the white people to give up their land or the black people? Because there was nobody else to tell to move to go to Oklahoma. No, it was in 1830. This is 1830. I'm going to pull it up. In 1830, it wasn't nobody here but black people and white people. All kinds of Europeans. And then the black people. So if they're telling the Indians to voluntarily go, and the ones that they forced off, it wasn't white people. the white people are not Indians. I'm gonna ask you this. Not a coincidence. Oh, girl. Not a coincidence. Well, now we know it was just black people and white people. Who? Hey, Choctaw, Montana, sweetheart. Not a coincidence. White people did. White people get pushed to Oklahoma as being the Indians? Nope. Was the white people? What? So who is more likely to go? Got to be talking about the black people, because that's who they needed to get out of their land. The black people. They didn't have a problem with the white people staying. It was the black people that needed to go to Oklahoma. $98 8% of us stayed. Said, hell no, we ain't going no damn Oklahoma. Staying right here. Not a coincidence. It's only black people and white people. Thanks, Lady Moon. Not a coincidence. If there's only black people and white people here in 1830, who's being pushed to Oklahoma? If it's only black people and white people here to be pushed from to give up their lands east of the Mississippi River. Who's east of the Mississippi River? It wasn't no Mongoloid people, no Asians, no Chinese. It was just niggas and white people. Who had to give up their lands? You, not a coincidence. You, JoJo. That whoever you are, JoJo, I know that voice that jumped up on Cuddy's piano. Right. Lattimore. That's right. James. Ooh, not a coincidence. I know you're in there, out there. Not a coincidence. Your butt. And I know that JoJo guy is watching too. I wish he would be brave to come on my panel. I'm not going to be mean to him. I don't mind talking, and I won't curse and say bad words. But y'all was ragging me in Cuddy's chat room. And I was so hurt because y'all made some little lies. So now it's clear that they want it, and they always want it. That's why you've seen all those news articles giving us 24 hours to leave, or they was going to burn us out our homes. Now it goes to those wishing to remain in the East would become citizens of their home state. Because now, before it was states, they were territories. And their territory became a state, whether they wanted it to or not, with their house on that land. Wherever your house was, if it was in, look at all the 50 states. If your house was in one of the 50 territories, okay, if your house was in one of those 50 territories, it was you was now living in a state, no longer a territory. And how was white people able to do that? Because they had Chief Kanasatago join them. I read that. See, look. They had the backing of the Iroquois. Look at here. Right there. We are reminded of Kanasatago's words still today when we look at the back of $1 bill. There you will find the Great Seal of the United States. And the eagle's left talon is a bundle of 13 arrows representing the 13 original colonies. And the only way they could become and expand to be 50 states, they needed more people. And the Iroquois was huge. They had the fiercest army, the Confederacy. They had a Confederacy already. Which how they bullied their way to make it 50 states. They expanded it. Just like when we read right here. This is why they did this shit to us, because they had the backing of the Iroquois Confederacy, who had the big ass army. Those wishing to remain in the East will become citizens of their home state. So if I was in Indian territory and any of these 50 states, okay, that was gonna be my new state now. It was a state, no longer an Indian territory. And we remained, even though we lost all our shit. In Tennessee, if your home was in this area in Tennessee, because that is an Indian name already, it was Indian territory. It was owned by the Cherokees. It was Cherokee lands. Land owned by the Indians is orange. Land owned by the settlers is the blue, and land being ceded in this treaty by the Indians to the settlers is in green. So they already gave this little piece of land in Tennessee to the settlers. It's called treaty land. But all the rest of the orange, if your damn house was in here in 1830, and this is 1770, the Treaty of Lochaber. This was in 1770. If your house was here, and then now we're in 1830, this is now becoming a state of Tennessee. And you, the Indian that wish to remain, your ass is now in the state of Tennessee. Thanks to the Iroquois locking in. They had the backup of the Iroquois Confederacy. And that Confederacy had the army. That's the same thing that happened in all the 50 states, which was formerly territories. We remained, okay, now you're a state, you're a citizen, and you're going to be who we say you are. Not a coincidence. When they started enumerating us, because prior to prior to 1870, we couldn't be listed on the census. So in 1870, we remained. In 1830, we stayed on the land. Okay. And in 1870 is the first time they began enumerating us on a census. That's when I tell the guy that the records that he saw, because the 1790s and all those records are supposed to be burned. So now you got reconstructed records. And because we became automatic citizens, because we remained in the 50 states, they made us who they wanted us to be. They made us blacks on the census sheet. That was the only way that they could enumerate us. Not a coincidence, because we're the Indians that remained. Remember, it was only black people and white people here, and we Negroes, we stayed. That means black. So they didn't enumerate us as Indians. Thanks, Bailey Oso. We stayed, the ones that remained. So when you see the records, yes, they're reconstructed records. They made us black. Before we were black, we were the Indians that remain, babe. I just read that to you. So they already had the Constitution. That was made. The Constitution was what, 1776 or something like that. And it already had the writing in there that Indian not taxed. So now, they're thinking, the Iroquois and the whites were smart. Oh, well, we got to do something. How the hell are we going to do this? They couldn't enumerate us because we were the Indians that remain. But we're the Indians that remain, but you can't fucking enumerate us because Indian not taxed. So that's why they put us as black on the census sheet as a race identifier and an identity. Because now, if we're listed as black people on the census, now they could enumerate us to get money from the federal government. But if it was eyes on there, if they put us as eyes, we wouldn't be enumerated to this date. That is like the biggest crime ever. And that's like the biggest lawsuit ever. And you know what happened when you said you were Indian? They hung our ancestors. We have these stories. You couldn't say it because they wanted to enumerate it. How are they going to make the money go round if the majority of the people on the land is the Indians? They got to get money somehow from this federal government. So we're going to put these people as black. That was the way they was able to do it. And if our ancestors said that they were Indian, they were getting hung. And then you got this idiot in Virginia going around telling people, that they're trying to pass for white, saying they're white and stuff. The Walter Plecker later, but that was the way that's what they did to us. Because each state, when you become the citizen, you're a subject to them. And that government can do what the freak they want to do with you. And they just put you as B's, black, for black. How about a lawsuit for forcing us to be black? From the time they started enumerating us, from 1870, a lawsuit. We want to be our money back for every taxes that we paid. Because we're supposed to be Indian, not taxed. And as subjects, you deceitfully deceived the government. All you 50 states, you deceived the government and said that we were blacks and we're the Indians that remain, because there was nobody here but blacks and whites. That's the hugest lawsuit ever. They owe us. They weren't supposed to enumerate us on our own land. And they did that. They made us blacks, even though we're the Indians that remain. Because we're the Indians that remained in 1830. Where are they? Who were they? The black people or the white people? Couldn't be the white people because you're from Germany, you're from France, you're Jewish, you're Irish, you're French, you're Italian. None of them are the Indians. So who's left? It's the Negroes. How? You made them all black on the census. We're the ones that remain. Not a coincidence. And you got to understand that. Once we get our people to understand this, we must get them to understand this and believe this to the core of their being. We're the ones that remain. There was nobody else. No other race of people. Just us. Why is this so hard for you and JoJo to understand? Look it up when we were first enumerated on the census. 1870. How do you invade somebody? You come in and you enslave them and take over. That's what they did. Other tribes did this to us together with the colonizers. That's what they did to us. We were invaded, and they whatever Indian it was, we were no longer an Indian. We could have been a Yamasee. We could have been any kind of Indian. With so many different kinds of Indians across these states. And the only ones they recognized were the ones that were willing to come in and take over all the other Indians on the land. And that's Choctaw, the 5 civilized tribes. They were the only ones willing to say, let's overpower and take over all the Indians. Let's wipe them out, and they'll never be heard of again. Which brings me to this. After all this shit was over, look at this. Look at this. Let me show you this shit. Because prior to 1830, it was a functioning government in the 1830s and stuff. They were working together with the civilized tribes running this goddamn country. Now, look at this shit. Black Wall Street was built in 1830s. Yep. J.B. Stratford founded Black Wall Street together with Ottawa W. Gurley in early 20th century, located in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hundreds of Black Americans moved to the thriving district during the oil boom, while the founders amassed greater fortunes. That's the Indian Removal Act. We went there and built Black Wall Street, and we was booming. They didn't actually go and live on the reservation. So if the Negro is walking around off the reservation to get to other reservations, like if you're on the Cherokee reservation and you took the census, now you need to go to Choctaw reservation. So you need the Negro that speak number Indian language to go to the other tribe. Let's go to the Choctaw area. And you got these blacks, okay, that moved in there in 1830. They did not go on, they were already there anyway. They's like, I ain't going on no fucking reservation because Tulsa, the entire Tulsa is Indian territory. The entire Tulsa. So if these people that were in Tulsa, right, they it when remember when we Indians that they were already Indians in that area before they moved all the Indians to Oklahoma. There was already Indians there. So if the Indians that was there didn't move on the reservation, guess what? They became a citizen of the territory, which became a state. Finally became a damn state, Oklahoma. So now you got a state of Oklahoma. Now they're citizens of the United States. You get it? In Oklahoma. So now in 1866, Congress established 6 all-Black regiments, consolidated to 4 shortly after, to help rebuild the country. This was after the Civil War. After the Civil War. All them Indians that remained on the land before the Civil War, that's what went into the Civil War. Because they was like, I ain't going no fucking way. I'm staying right here. So then you had the war between the North and the South. And of course, the Union won against the Confederate States with the help of the Iroquois, right? So now the war is over, okay? Because there was a life and the states was functioning, but it just wasn't good enough. So in 1866, Congress established 6 all-Black regiments, consolidated to 4 shortly after, to help rebuild the country after the Civil War. They want to do it all over again. We got to rebuild this shit all over again. Because now we're states and we want them all now. And to fight on the Western frontier during the Plains Wars. It was from one of these regiments, the 10th Cavalry, that the nickname Buffalo Soldier was born. So they got all these Black soldiers together and say, all right, let's redo the country again. Let's rebuild the country. Now that we got all the 50 states, we're going to rebuild the country. After the Union Army turned back Robert E. Lee's first invasion of North at Antietam, Maryland, and the Emancipation Proclamation was subsequently announced, Black recruitment was pursued in earnest. Volunteers from South Carolina, Tennessee, and Massachusetts filled the first authorized Black regiments. So they got down with the government and said, all right, let's rebuild the country. Civil War is over. So now they got their army. and they wasn't trained by white people. Why didn't they say African regiments? Because they weren't. They were the Indians that remained. Tennessee, South Carolina, wherever they were, it and whatever territory they were living in, Indian territory they were living in as Indians, it became a state. All right, you gonna remain. All right, you're a citizen now. And all those, you notice nobody was named an Indian, whether they were, what were the old Indian names, the PDs and all that. None of them were named. They were just citizens. You got the PDs and Edisto, all the Indians in South Carolina. You got the Indians in North Carolina. They weren't who the Indian they were. They became black citizens because they were the Indians that remained. Remember, there was only white people and black people here. All the Indians that was in all the 50 states, they had Indian names. They did away with their original names wherever they were in any territory that they were in. And it was like, all right, you remain, you're not going to Oklahoma. They just wanted to squish all the Indians in Oklahoma. And they was like, hell no, we ain't going nowhere. We staying right here. So if they was any kind of Indian, all those Indians, I mean, South Carolina had a lot of different Indians. And all the different Indians in New York, all the Indians all over these land masses. They literally had Indian names. And because wherever they stayed, they didn't go to Oklahoma. All right, you're remaining, you will become a citizen. Because now you're in a state. You're not Indian. It's not called Indian territory no more. You're a citizen now. And when that 1870 census came around, or whether you were a PD Indian, uh, uh, a Disto, any kind of Indian you was, you just became a black person on the census sheet. Because not a coincidence. What happened to all the Indians that remain? Not a coincidence. That's us. They made every last Indian black and only recognized the ones that was down and taking you out as an Indian and overpowering you as an Indian. You're a citizen. They now have power and jurisdiction over you. You are now a black. I came to bring us back. You see that? If you can't see that, not a coincidence in JoJo, then something's seriously wrong. You must make the African. They are in the census, Sister Bethy. If you do a search on the census before or after 1870, that's so sad, brother. That's so sad. That is so sad. I told you that they're Reconstruction records, and you just don't want to understand that. If I make up a census for 1860, not a coincidence, I can get compensated for money from the government just by lying, saying that these are blacks. Do you understand that the government rips off its own government? You don't see that? This black guy was here with us in 1820, 1830. They made all these up. And it tells you on it, their Reconstruction census. So if you submit that to the government, now your state that you be compensated for that black person on the sheet. You got to see their evil and dirtiness. Not a coincidence. Think about it this way. Yeah. Because not a coincidence. The reason why, and I'm glad you asked that question. The reason why we go by because we can attest to the people on the sheets. We don't care about what race it is. We know who our grandma and grandpas are on them sheets. But it also shows the crime committed. So it helps us, not a coincidence. The people, you see Betty Ann, okay, you see Walter Best, then you see Betty Best, and you see all 10 of their kids, and they're all listed as blacks. The crime is identifying those Indians as blacks so you can get the money from the government and for that individual in that state, because the federal government gives you the money based on the enumeration. It comes to the town. But the crime on that sheet is not Betty Jean and Billy Bob and Betty Jean and all their kids. The crime is what you did to get the money so that your state could receive funds from the government. You took the Indians that remained and you labeled them as black citizens. Now do you get it? Not a coincidence. The crime is not the names that are on there. We can attest to who our grandma is in in any year. In any year, we can attest to who our grandmas and grandpas are. But what is the crime that these individual states committed towards the federal government? They falsely classified the Indians that remained as blacks. So now you can enumerate them as black citizens and get funds from the federal government to your state, because they cut the money from the federal government to the states. They still do that to this day. And guess who's still being identified as blacks on the goddamn census sheet? So that they can continue to get the money that they get. Guess who? And guess what? Now that you know, here's how the dirty way they play it, not a coincidence. Now that you know who you are, you need to correct your racial identity to Indian like you're supposed to. You know why? Because when did you learn? They'll throw that on you. Oh, you conjugated with your state government to say that you were a black. But see, back then, we were threatened if we said we were Indian. Today, now we know. Now it's a crime. And we now you know. The moment you know, the law goes by the moment you know. Have you taken the corrective measures to say you're Indian? And guess what'll happen if all of the black people corrected their race identity? You can't enumerate the Indians. You can't. And guess who's not? Guess how many states is not going to get no fucking money now? Because you can't enumerate all these niggas. And you want to know something else, buddy? Oh, I'm bringing the thunder. I got to bring the thunder. And guess what? Guess what now? Oh, my God. They fucking woke up. If they put that they're Indians, we can't fucking tax them anymore, get many more states. So guess what? We got to bring in new niggas. Open the borders, because we could get money for them. They could be claimed on the... Yo, do I have to say more? Do I? I'm telling you, I'm bringing the bar, but I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. coming with the thunder. Do what I gotta do because I'm not racist. I'm not losing my motherfucking mind. Open the motherfucking borders. Hurry up. We got to let them in. Let them in. We got to be able to claim them so that we can get the money from the government to come to the states. Open the fucking borders. We can claim them. We can claim them. We got to replace how many of these motherfucking niggas is going to be Indians now because we got to get them. How else are we going to get our money back, our tax dollars back from the federal government? I come with the motherfucking thunder. I'm a crazy lady. What the fuck I'm talking about? I know how these motherfuckers operate. I'm not crazy. Now do you see why the Democrats don't have no problem opening the fucking border? Let them in the loads. Thanks, Master Green. I'm going to open the segment. I want to hear now, not a coincidence from you. I want to dialogue with you. I don't do any name calling. I'm not. But the panel is now open for everybody. I'm going to take a water break. I love you guys, man. I'm so glad you guys are listening, and I hope I don't care who comes up, but I want to hear that you understand this. This is so important. So important. I'm gonna put the link in here for you. Give me a minute. If I'm not back, just give me a minute. I'll let you up. I promise. Give me a minute. The link is there. Just let me take a little water break and drink some water, because you got to understand how it goes. You got to understand the real reasons for things that's happening. Where is that damn thing at? I need a water break. And I promise I'll be right back. Just sit in the back tight once you hit the link, and I'll let you up. I promise. Give me a minute.
ISO. Dama. Woo! Hey, there's so many lies, so many lies. Hey, there's so many lies, so many lies. Yo, there's so many, hey, there's so many, yo, there's so many, yo, there's so many lies. Look in my eyes, they know I'm the truth. They know that. Knocking them down every time I step in the booth. We ain't gotta lie, they know we the vibe, we living in proof. It's young conscious, shoot my life a movie, I live in a spoof. Ain't no sticking around, I'm on the move, I'm checking the dudes. Yeah, it's only us two, so you know we copping that coupe. We on the roof, smoking dope, look at the view. Yeah, we used to chill on the stoop, now we out here breaking the news. It ain't what you really could do, cause we ain't got nothing to lose. We ain't switched side with no cruise, we just stayed out of the loop. Now we out here letting it loose, every shot we took it was swoosh. Gotta get it, ain't no excuse, ain't left to prove. Hey, yeah, hey, there's so many lies, so many lies. Hey, there's so many lies, so many lies. Yo, there's so many, hey, there's so many, yo, there's so many.
Yeah. Ask them a real question, yeah, I bet it's all lies. Hey, they won't cross that line for a fact that's offsides. Hey, too much penalties when they run this back, yeah, it's fines. Hey, could have been here with us, but we do not force no vibes. Hey, she gon' ride the whip and let me park it in the driveway. They just want the praise like they Yahweh. Getting so much bread, get a ride way. We done already won, yeah, that's worth the ride way. But they still lying right through their teeth, and they still hiding behind many truths. They was D9, watch my every move, tell them keep fine. Leave that shit on scene, I ain't replying. Less I know you, that don't mean I'm Hollywood, that just mean I'm Hollywood. All y'all I probably stood on the falls, all cause. More times I probably should. I don't know nobody like us, you see how much time it took.
Yeah, hey, there's so many lies, so many lies, so many lies. Hey, there's so many lies, so many lies, so many, so many. There's so many, hey, there's so many, yo, there's so many. Whoa, whoa. Hey, there's too many lies, hey. Yeah, ISO, Indies, Dama. ISO, Dama. Hey, there's so many lies, so many lies. Hey, there's so many lies, so many lies. Yo, there's so many, hey, there's so many, yo, there's so many, yo.
Shay Sun, thanks for that break, y'all. This water is good. Shay Sun, hit the link. Come on up. Let's do it. Let's do it right now. Hit the link. Hey, Key Norfolk, what's up, love? Hey, I am the one. Shay Sun, come on. Come on up. Come on up, boy. Hit the link. Come on up, Shay Sun. Come on, y'all. I'm ready. I'm going to sit here and wait. You expose me. Come on. Let's go. Let's talk about that. Come on. Let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready. I stay ready. Let's go. We not on Cuddy channel where the mics get muted. We on my channel. Let's go. Come on. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to wait. I'm at war at this point. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, bro. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Hit the link.
Conscious.
Let's go.
Matic. Alright, so far where I come from.
Turn your picture on just for
I sit and wonder about the times that it made sense. But nowadays I don't worry about what's past tense. My younger days I used to hang around with mad friends. If we just fell out, I don't really know what happened. A lot of people come around and keep you stagnant, distraction. So yeah, don't show them no compassion. We was really out here grinding, really rapping, stacking them Franklin.
Okay. Hi, you ready? I'm ready. Anybody else want to come up? Come on up. It's open. Go ahead, Shay Sun. You got the mic. Come and share it. I'm going to sit here quietly and listen to you. And then I'm going to explain. I'm not going to be rude to you. I see you, hun. You could turn it off. I wanted to turn it off. I'm going to turn it off so you could turn off. Shay Sun, you could turn off your camera. Okay. I see you. I didn't want to let the overlay.
Oh, I was going to leave it on for you, Betty.
You good. You can leave it off if you want. You don't have to cut it on.
All right, so we're going to set the stage, right?
All right, let's go. I'm ready. I'm going to listen.
Look.
I'm staying quiet. Let me mute my mic.
Okay, so look, so we setting the stage for this census conversation. So you're projecting that all the black people was Indians prior to this census, right? I want to be clear on what you're projecting.
You want me to answer or you want me to stay quiet? Yes.
All black people were Indians before this census was created. That's what you're saying? Yes. Can you prove that?
Yes.
How can you prove that all black people from state to state before 1790 was identifying as Indian or from an Indian tribe? How can you prove that? What's your proof of that?
You want me to show you? You want me to wait till you finish?
No, you can show me now.
Okay. I'm going to go right here. It's very clear. Now, were there, all right, let me ask you this question first before I prove it. Were there any other race of people other than Germans, French? Can you name all of the races of white Europeans and black Europeans that were here in 1830?
In 1830?
Yeah. And beyond the colonials, what were their races?
Hold on. There's white people here, there's Indians here, and there's black. Hold on, you just asked me a question. And there's African slaves here prior to 1830.
Where were the African slaves?
You said what?
Where were the African slaves?
I can show you a law in Massachusetts in 17. Hold on, I'll get it for you right now. I'm putting it back. That's saying that no Negroes and Africans are allowed in Massachusetts. If Africans are not here, why are they mentioning that? Why is there a law in Massachusetts banning Africans?
What year was that, sir?
1790.
That's very, very funny because that's just not true, sir. Not true in Massachusetts, definitely. So now, I want to ask you this: what races of
Wait, I was wrong,
Europeans.
Betty. It's actually 1788.
Okay. So,
I could read it to you. I'm gonna read it to you right now. I'm looking at it. I'm gonna read it to you.
okay.
It's the Massachusetts Act 1788 Act banning any Negro and African. I'm gonna put the link in the back chat so you can post it on your screen.
Okay.
So you can share it to your viewers. Ain't you in Massachusetts?
No, I am not. I'm in
Where you at?
Connecticut.
Oh, you in
Connecticut.
Connecticut. You in Connecticut. Okay. But this is 1788.
Okay. You're gonna read it?
I want you to post it. I want you to share your screen. I'm gonna post it in the back chat so y'all don't think that it's coming from me. I want y'all to look at it.
You're pulling it up?
It's back there. You can post it. It's in the back chat.
It's in the back chat. So you want me to pull it up? Okay. This is funny. Okay. I'm gonna share it for you because I
Be
want to
careful
let you.
too. Hold
I
on.
want you.
Hold on, Betty. I'm gonna say something. This gonna excite the Moors too, because it's gonna be a word in there that might get them excited. So, but yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
You do. Oh, I'll wait until after you read this. Go ahead. You got it. You can read it.
Okay, 1788 Act, Massachusetts Act banning any African or Negro. So
Okay.
by all right, so no, go back up. We're gonna read the
Oh,
actual thing, the
okay.
yellow. It says, be it further emailed by the authority for this that no, I can't see. It's
No
low
person being of
person.
African or Negro,
Yeah,
okay, other than a subject of the
subject of
Emperor
the
of
Empire of the
Morocco,
Morocco or citizen
of some of
of some of
someone of the
someone
United States,
to be
to be
evidenced
evident
by a certificate from the
certificate from the
Secretary of
Secretary
State
of the State,
of which
of which
he
shall be a citizen, shall
thou
tarry, shall tarry within this Commonwealth
Commonwealth
for
for
a
a longer
longer
time than
time
two
than
months,
2 months, and
and
upon
upon
complaint
complaint
made to
made
any
by
justice of the peace
peace
within the Commonwealth,
Commonwealth
that
that
any
any
such person has been within the same more than two
two
months,
months
the said justice shall order the said person to depart out of this Commonwealth, and in um, case that the said African or Negro, these are two different people that they're identifying. You do realize that,
No, they're
right?
not identifying
uh
two different people. They're
African
using two
or
different terms.
is the two okay? I'm about to show you in a minute. Shall not depart as aforesaid any justice of the peace within this commonwealth upon complaint and proof made that such person was continued within the commonwealth 10 days after notice given him or her to depart as aforesaid. So is that what you wanted me to read?
Yeah, why are they banning Africans and why are they banning Africans in 1788 if none of them are here? What if they don't? Why would they be banning something they know nothing about?
Okay.
That makes
Uh
no sense.
okay. Is there anything else you wanted to show me?
No, I'm just saying. You
This
asked
is in
me about.
1788.
Yeah, you asked me about what races was in 1830, but they're talking about a whole nother race of people in 1788. So we don't have to question if there's other races here. We know it's white people here. We know it's Indians here. We know it's Africans here. Because if it was no Africans here, a state like a state would not be talking about them because they know nothing about them. Why would I
Okay.
ban somebody that I know nothing about?
Okay. Do you have anything else you wanted to
No, I
share?
was just clarifying that we know Africans are here. That's all. That's all I was clarifying.
Okay. In that one state of Massachusetts.
Oh no, Okay.
I'm just
I
asking you
guess.
what one state of Massachusetts
Okay.
in 1788, correct?
No, I got
Right?
more, but we just we already
You said the
established that
one
this.
state, Massachusetts. This isn't the 50 states. This is, you're saying this is the one state of Massachusetts.
No, I
And
was
you're
just making
saying
it
that
clear that it's Africans here already, and that it's Europeans here already. Because you went to 1830, so 1788 is before 1790.
okay,
1790 is the first census, right?
yes.
Okay, so we already know that there's two other new groups here. We know that there's Indians here already. We got that established. We got that the Aboriginal people are here. So, but we also know that there's Europeans and there's Africans here.
Up in Massachusetts that you're saying.
No, they're in the South too, but
I have
okay,
not
because
seen
you're gonna
anyone.
cherry pick. Okay,
No, no, I'm not cherry
because then when I
picking. If
show
it's
you,
not
because
on
then
the
when I show you
census,
African people or
brother,
white people in the
brother,
South,
are you finished with your proof? Because I'm staying quiet while you talk. But go ahead.
yeah, wasn't it African and white people in Virginia in the 1600s?
I've never seen anyone listed as that.
Okay.
I have not. I have no proof of that.
Okay,
But
cool. All right, so
you
let's get
show.
to the census, right? Because
Uh,
you're just gonna keep moving the goalposts on when people or
no,
who
I'm
are here.
letting you talk, and I'm staying quiet. Go ahead.
Okay,
I'm
let's go
gonna
to the
stay
census
quiet.
then. So again, you're saying that all black people. Oh wait, yeah. So again, you saying that all black people was identifying as Indian or from some type of Indian tribe before the census. Can you prove that in the 50 states? Since you want to focus on the 50 states, you want proof of all Africans being in the 50 states. Can you prove that in the 50 states that all black people was identifying as Indian or from the Indian tribe? Please.
They could not. That's the problem. They
Why
couldn't.
couldn't they? What law?
Oh,
What law said
all
that they
right.
couldn't
So now
identify as
you got to
Indian?
be quiet and let me show you. Now, if you cut me off, I'm gonna put you in the back until you be quiet. Okay. Now, let's see here. Let's go here. Now you did your little proof. Now I'm gonna do mine. Are you aware that the governors started in Massachusetts? Are you aware that in 1788, Massachusetts governor was black, was an Indian? You're not aware of that. This whole black governor thing originated. The office of black governor originated in Massachusetts. Can you read that state, boo boo? Boo boo skillet. Where did the black governor originate? This was the takeover that they wanted to get rid of in these 50 states. The former government. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Fire, please. Let's go. Talking about some damn Massachusetts. Let's go. Can we have a fire, please, in the chat? You talking about Massachusetts, baby. Let's go. That's the first goddamn sentence on the damn article. Let's go. Now, make that make sense. You telling me a slave African was a governor in Massachusetts where it originated? Is that what you telling me?
You really?
Silence. Silence.
I'm letting you talk. You told me
Silence.
not to cut you
You
off. I'm
can't, you
silent on
can't,
purpose.
you can't, you can't
No,
come
I'm
back
not
from
talking
that.
on purpose. You told me to
No,
be
you got to be
silent.
quiet. You got to be silent. It originated exactly where you saying. I keep telling you. But you want to buy this bull crap, bruh. But the focus of this article is in my state, Connecticut. But where did it originate? Massachusetts. Yo. You can't come back from that. You have got to clear your head of who the Indian is. That's all air quotes Confederacy up there. They joined in with the colonizers to expand to the 50 states, for them to become 50 states. This shit originated in Massachusetts. And you coming with that little sad document, man. You got to do better than that. Now, let's go. You're talking at the time that they began rebuilding this government.
Becky,
In the 18th, nah. You're not gonna do it. I'm put you in the back. You got a problem. You got to sit back there until I'm finished. What we talking about? All the 50 states, Massachusetts included. If you remained, you become a citizen. They was getting rid of the former government so they could rebuild this shit. That's why it's called after in the 1860s. That's why it was called Reconstruction, so they could do it all over again. Because back in the 1700s, there were black governors. This shit started in the very state that you trying to debunk me with, and you can't. All the Indians. We already know what they did with the Pequots up in the Narragansett, all the tribes up that way. They demolished tribe names. And then you ask me why, the worst question in the world, why all the black people didn't call themselves Indians. Do you realize they was hung and killed if they did? The only way they could get money, the amount of money dished out to them in the different states, is if they had the bodies to prove that they had as citizens. So when the Indians, us that remained in our land, in our territories that became states, that was us. You said it. There was only black people and white people here. So who's the Indian between the black and the white? You couldn't say nothing as you was getting hung or killed. The states still do this shit today. They still get money from the federal government behind the Indians being labeled as blacks on the census sheet. And now when the blacks wake up, what do? Open the borders. So we ain't gonna have shit for our state from the federal government. Why you think it took them so long to get us on the census? Because even when we was working, we didn't pay no taxes when we worked on the farmlands as slaves, as Indians. Couldn't even be numerated. They didn't get no money for them. But damn, if we're gonna start enumerating, what the fuck we gonna call them? Blacks, so you can get the money. So if you got foreigners coming over here, they can be enumerated. They ain't gonna list them as blacks. They couldn't be listed as blacks. And the ones that in the white looking Indians, they were allowed to say that they were Indians, the quadroons. They were allowed to. And now you got it.
so can we go back to that Connecticut source you had up on the screen? Can we go back there?
Yeah. It's a very recent. They just re-updated that in 2023 on our historical site. They updated it. Let me see.
Okay, could you put it back on the screen, Betty?
Yeah,
I wanna go
updated
over.
using modern words. They updated it.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. I'm not attacking you on this.
I know you're not. You can't because I
well,
work with a update.
I can,
You
but I want to
actually
be
can't.
hold on. I can, but I want to be fair to you. You just said it was updated because I'm just listen
Yeah,
to
it
me.
is.
All right, cool. Listen to me. It's saying a black governor could be called on to perform important functions within his community. In many towns, the governor meted out punishments and upheld law and order among the what?
Africa, didn't I just tell you that this was updated to use up
So
modern day
so
words?
can you show me the can you show me the original one?
This is the one. It's on their site. If you go on their historical site, you'll find this, and you'll find the date that it's been updated on Connecticut's historical
Okay,
site.
so it used to say Indian inhabitants. That's what you're saying?
No,
So that's what I'm saying, Betty. You using a source that's telling you that it's African people here, but
they're using modern day words. It would have It would
so
have
what
been
would it have
black
said, Betty?
or Negro. It would have been black or Negro.
It's saying black governor though. It's saying black though, but it's saying among the
Correct. They're
African.
using the words interchangeably. Somebody literally writ this. Look
Okay,
at
so
the
you trust?
interchangeable words. If
uh,
if, if it's today, if it's today, they're using interchangeable words. Connecticut, historically, you could see and go and look on their site that they didn't have that many slaves here.
No, I'm
They
not.
didn't.
Hold on, Betty. I'm not projecting that. I'm not saying that how many slaves they had or how many that they didn't have. I don't know what this source is. You're showing it. I don't know what I'm saying is you're using
This
this. Remember my question. I said, how can you prove that all black people prior to the census was claiming to be or identifying as Indian? You brought this up. This source is saying that this.
I'm telling you, and I just showed you that all the Indians that remained became citizens of their home state. So before it was even a state, no matter where you were, you became a citizen. And when they began allowing us to be put on censuses, they listed us as blacks, as black people rather than who we really were. Because if they if Indians couldn't be enumerated, so they can't list us. They can't enumerate us if we're listed as Indians.
All right, but the thing
And
that
I
I post.
also have the other document that states that. Would we be willing to come in under another name? Where is it? Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, let's
The
read this.
free black community. There have been several proposals for the removal of Indians from America over the years, but the founding of the American Colonization Society, and you know what? I replaced blacks with Indians to make it make more sense, by the
But why
way,
would you do that, Betty? Why?
because it makes more sense when you get down to the bottom. I only changed it in different locations. Go pull it up. You
But
can
I'm
read
saying,
this.
Betty, that's dishonest to the people.
You
Why we
could
changing
you
stuff?
It's not dishonest to the people. It makes more sense.
Makes more sense to
There
who?
had been several it even says this. It has been proposals to remove Indians. It has been. You can read
That's
that.
we
It
not
says
I'm
that.
agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with
All
you.
right. But
But
in
to
some
change
of
it
the
to change it to something else because you feel like it makes more sense. That's this.
okay,
That's this.
but it still makes sense in the end.
All right.
There had been several proposals for the removal of Indians from America over the years. That is true. That wording is true, I believe. You got to go back. You can pull this up. Matter of fact, let me go pull it up so you can see exactly what it says. But it makes sense. Matter of fact, I'm going to keep reading it and then I'll pull it up. There had been several proposals for the removal of Indians from America over the years, but the founding of the American Colonization Society in the late 1816 brought the issue to increased national attention. The new movement, with the support of major political figures, struck all the right chords in white America. Removal of unwanted blacks to their own homeland, the spread of Christianity to the dark pagan world, and the development of an Indian economy free of the slave trade. Indians saw through the sham quickly that colonization under white control would remove free Indians and make slavery more secure. And the rhetoric of colonization grew increasingly poisonous to Indians, describing them as degenerate and hopelessly degraded, denying any possibility of Indian and white coexistence in America. However, if slavery was to be the dominant social political force and racism the dominant popular ideology, what role was there for Indians? And would they want that role? Would they continue their struggle to be free and equal citizens of the United States, or forge a new identity in the larger Black Atlantic world? What are the new identities they gave the Indians? Indian, Negro, colored, Black, African American in 1988. We had to be willing. This is when they was thinking about even letting us in to be citizens when we didn't want to go to Oklahoma. Look, we're in 1816. They was trying to figure out, well, how can they put us in here? Because if they do, they can't enumerate us. And if we do stay, would we be willing to forge a new identity? Obviously, because they listed us as Black in the larger Atlantic world.
No.
We're the only ones.
No, they did not list.
All right,
They did not list
new
Indians.
identity that they gave the darker Indians that stayed? What is it? What did Walter Plecker do to all the Indians that had one drop of Negro blood because they were losing their white features?
Betty, let me respond to you. I'm
What
gonna
did he
use
do?
just
Go.
I'm gonna use your
Go.
same logic against you. You just asked
Go.
me, oh, look. You just asked me about, oh,
Go
you showed
ahead.
one state. When you guys use Walter Plecker is not speaking for all 50 states. His ideology does not apply to all 50 states. Why you keep using him? That's
Okay,
one
now
thing.
let's go with
Two,
that.
hold on. Let me get to this. Let me
Okay,
get to
go
this
ahead.
identity thing.
Go
You spoke
ahead.
a lot.
Go
Second
ahead.
thing, there's Indians on. I just posted something in the back chat. There's Indians on the census. It tells you that if they're prominent figures in certain locations, Indians are on the census. Not everybody. Oh, now during this Indian Removal Act, it's not telling them that they have to denounce being Indians or denounce their identity. It's telling them that they have to give up their land over here on the Atlantic to go to new lands in the West. It has nothing to do with them saying that they have to stop being Indians. That's not in the Indian Removal Act, and that's not a law that they have to not identify as that. So this idea that they had to change their identity or that they couldn't be Indian is a lie. It doesn't exist anywhere. They can be Indian. They just were not enumerated. That's why in 1860 or 1870, you see a bunch of them. The number goes up. That's why I posted that link in the back chat. It's telling you that they're viewing them as Indians. It's not
They
a
have
crime or
white
law.
features.
You said what?
They have white features. They're octoroons and cockroaches.
Hold on, Bethy. Let me ask you this.
That's the only way white people could become Indian.
I'm not
is
talking
with the
about
blood.
white people, Bethy. I'm not talking
I'm
about white
talking
people.
about the Indians that you're talking about on that fucking census are the people
How
with
do you know
white
that, Bethy? You
features.
seen these people before?
Because they're the ones that are being called, that are being accepted as Indians.
That's
Have
not
you
true,
looked-
Bethy.
When
because
was
all
the
this-
last time? When was the last time you looked at the Dawes Rolls?
Hold on,
Of
Bethy.
all the 5 tribes, none of them are full blood that look white. There's
Bethy,
no such thing as a pure white, full blood Indian.
Okay,
Get
Bethy.
the fuck out of here.
When the Indian Removal Act happened, did all Indians go west? Did all of them go west?
No, they stayed.
They
We
didn't.
stayed.
So that's what I'm saying. Those
We
Indians
stayed
made the
where
census.
they are black.
So, but whether
They
they're
were
black or not,
labeled as black. All right, I'm
that's
going to
not
say
true,
this to you.
Bethy.
I'm going to say this to you again. And you're going to shut up. I'm going to say this to you again. The Indians that remained became citizens of the states that of their home state. Now, again, what race of people were here then? Blacks and white people. Are you telling me that the whites were the Indians? Were the white people the Indians? Yes or no?
No, I'm not saying
Okay.
you added
Now,
white. I don't even know why we're talking about white people.
because
You
that's
added white people.
important.
I didn't
That's
add that, Bethy.
important. That's important. That's important. And I'm gonna just hold this up here for a minute because that's important. Because now all you have left is blacks, what you call blacks, Negroes. All you have left is Negroes. So who's the Indian? Is it the black or the Negro?
But
Or was there a third Indian that you, or is it, who's this mystery Indian that you can't point out? Because all that was here was black people and white people. Who's the mystery Indian?
who's saying that is all?
I asked you what race of
And
people were here.
I said 3 times that we know Indians here. That's why I said in the back.
All right, who's the Indian? Is it the white or the black? Because that's all that's here is black people and white people. How did white people?
I'm not saying that, Betty.
Okay,
I never
well,
said
who was
that,
here?
that it was only
Well, all
black
right,
and white
all
people.
right, let's go.
Why you
Let's
keep
go.
saying that? I didn't say
You're
that.
being ignorant. What race of people was here?
I
What
said
race
3
of
times.
people?
I said we know that there was Indian people here. We know that.
All right. Wait, back up. Who is the Indian? Is it the black or the white? The Indian got a race. They got a feature. What did these Indians look like?
You saying they look white? So
what? No, don't say what I say.
You said what did they look like?
Indians look like? Yes. What did the Indians look like?
I don't know. They look like Indians, not us. They didn't look like us.
You're gone. You're done. You're done. I've never seen nobody so fucking stupid in all my life. You are a disgrace to the fucking world, nigga. And then for you to sit here and say, Walter Plecker, one state, Virginia, nigga. Well, if you was born in New York and you got Negro on your birth certificate, where the fuck did that come from? If you was born in New York or if you was born in Connecticut, if you was born in South Carolina, North Carolina, Mississippi, Texas, all the 50 states, where the fuck did colored come from? Because he made all the Indians colored. Where did that come from? It was from Walter Plecker. He persuaded all the other states to do it. In their fucking birth certificates, they put colored on it. So all the Indians was deemed as colored. What part of that don't understand? If Walter Plecker wasn't an influence, you can't tell me what the Indian looked like that was here. All that was here was black people and white people, if you want to use modern day language. Modern day language. That's all that was here. Black people and white people. You got Irish, Dutch, French, German, Russian, Jewish. None of them are Indians. And then you got the Negro. All of a sudden, a white person that got one drop of that Indian blood is a fucking Indian. And they didn't get it from 2 white people. So if those are the only people here, the Negro, the white, all the different kind of white people, and they got one nigga on the tree, all of a sudden, they're 1/4 Indian. The white person became an Indian. No Asians, nowhere to be seen. In my state, Negroes and Indians. Why did they put the 2 together? Because they're one and the same. When you had more white features, you were deemed an Indian. Who's the white? Who's the Indian?
Betty, I was a little
confused
confused.
If we're talking about the people that's here,
on what you were saying because I didn't know.
If we're talking about the people that was here, and I take this serious. You in my state is Indians and Negroes added together in the last column. Why isn't an Asian person listed? Why? They separated them from the white people.
What year is this, Betty?
1782.
I don't believe there were Asian people here during that time.
Can I say something?
In my state is a colonial state.
Was there Asian
and it's
people
the
there? I'm not
constitutional
sure.
state.
I'm not familiar.
No, it wasn't.
So you just because you just
It's telling you exactly who is here.
okay. It says
Whites,
Indian and Negro,
whites,
not Indian.
Indians,
Not
and because the
if
white
they're the
person,
same. If they're the
because
same,
the
then we could
white
say
person,
Indian.
because the white person became the fucking Indian when they fucked the Negro.
No, wait,
That's
Betty. If they
how.
was the same, it
One
would just say
drop,
Indian
one
or
drop made
just
him
say
a fucking
Negro.
Indian. One drop of nigga blood made him an Indian. What
it
part
nigga
of that you don't understand?
Okay, Betty, I'm not trying to listen. You get intense. I'm not disrespecting you. I'm not calling you name. What
I'm not
trying to
disrespecting you neither because
you
I don't
did.
see
You
how
called me stupid, ignorant. That's
why
cool. I'm just trying to
would
get some
they not put why would they put the Indians and the niggas together?
I'm
Okay, count them together.
Okay, that's
why?
what I'm trying to.
Can I?
Listen. Hold on. Let me ask Betty this real quick because she's saying a lot and she's just jumping and I'm trying to get understanding.
No, I didn't finish answering your question about this whole thing about the forging the new identity. They was planning this until 1830. They came up back when when we're talking about this. This was in 1816. 1816. They was trying to get the Indians to get up out of here, and they said no.
I'm not disagreeing with you, Betty.
I'm saying,
I'm not disagreeing with that.
You know what?
I'm on your side with that.
Oh, okay. The Indians, okay. How would the Indians fit into a larger black Atlantic world if they wasn't black? How would they fit in? That right there tells you. They had to come under a new identity. This is in 1860. So guess what? Let's move it there. Let's go there to exactly when they did this shit.
Betty, can I say something? Because you're saying a lot, and I just want to.
No, because I'm not finished answering your question because you're not gonna go there. I done messed you up with Massachusetts.
No, you didn't.
Now I'm about to mess you up. Oh, you finished. You're finished.
You're not even letting me talk, Betty.
Finished. No, I'm letting you talk, but I'm not finished what I'm doing.
I don't want you to jump.
You
jumping from one thing to another.
You said you were finished, and when you seen this shit, it fucked you up.
No, it didn't.
Right, we went there.
Fuck me up
black government. It went to Massachusetts.
It definitely fucked me up because why is it saying African inhabitants?
No, forget the Africans right now. The
why would I
governor
forget it? This
originated
in
Massachusetts because it was updated to reflect modern day language.
So what did the original say? Can you show us?
You need to go and look on the site. The original's not there anymore. They updated this shit. Connecticut did not. How are you gonna have black governors and African slaves? Man, I'm done.
The black governor.
I'm done.
The black governor is
and the Negroes are together.
Okay, so look.
Now it started in Massachusetts, and in Connecticut we had them in these towns. I'm not finished. You can play this with Cuddy's channel, but not with Thunder. I'm not finished. Now, we went from 1816 to 1830 when they offered these people to leave. The only people here is white people and black people, if we're going to use modern day language. Those wishing to remain in the East will become citizens of their home state. Now, when we're talking about Indians, ain't nothing here but whites and blacks. Who is the Indian? A white person cannot be a full-blood Indian if they got the blood from the Negro. Indian and Negro is one and the same. On the damn reservations, the 5 civilized tribes even call them Negroes are the Indians. Why are these Negroes speaking nothing but Indian languages? None of this makes sense to you.
You're gonna ask us and not let us answer, though. You're not gonna let us answer.
All right, so don't speak for us, speak for yourself. Why on the reservation did the Negroes only speak Indian languages? Nothing else but Indian languages. Answer that question, sir.
If they was born there and born around them, why wouldn't they speak it?
My fucking goodness.
I know black people that know.
You're out of here. You're out. Don't ever come back to my piano again. This motherfucker, you know what? You need to fall off the planet. You can't come back up here, man. I'm serious. Get your ass out of here. But the white people there, okay? with white features, them motherfuckers don't even speak Indian languages. But why is it that the niggas speak English? Speak Indian languages? Man, don't come back here no more. You're finished. We got too much evidence on these motherfuckers. Let me tell y'all something right now. And I'm going to cut my camera on. The crime of this government to get money from the federal government is putting the Indians as black. That is a federal crime. We're the ones that remained. And we were never on the census. We couldn't be enumerated. But then, when we became citizens, under the 10th Amendment, the states have a right. Whatever hereby is not in the Constitution is hereby delegated to the states. The states, the individual states, had the power to identify you as whatever they wanted when it came to race. That was black. That's how they were able to get you enumerated so that you could be counted and receive federal funds. All states get money from the federal government. That's how they delegate it out to the states, all the 50 states. Look it up. If all of us put ourselves back to being Indian, because we can't get killed now for doing it, they can't enumerate us. And they can't tax us. It's a constitutional law. That's why Obama got rid of Negro. When he got rid of Negro, y'all don't even understand this. He made an executive order to get rid of Negro. When he got rid of Negro, you are back to who you are. Literally. Because it was against the law to call you something you were not to get taxes. Better hurry up and get rid of that shit. The states deceitfully classified the Indians as Negroes and blacks as blacks. You can't do that. That's a crime to get money for the federal government. This is why it's so important for the fucking borders to open up, because they could be enumerated when they become citizens. And the states can now still get money. Anybody that ain't got no fucking sense that can't see that, I don't know what to tell you. Sha Shun, you could never come on my panel again, nigga, because you're crazy. Y'all got it. I'm taking a break. Y'all got it. I can't do this.
Salute to you, Sister Bethy. What's going on with it? Not a coincidence. Everybody in the chat, how y'all feeling today? Not a coincidence. You had something you want to dive into? Not a coincidence. All right. Well, that was a fun segment with Sha Shun. That was fun. But what Sister Bethy is saying is absolutely correct. That's why they had to do what they're doing as far as what you're seeing right now. So once they get these people here, they will be redistricted.
His mic is muted. Not a coincidence. Yeah. Your mic is muted. Oh, maybe he stepped away. You got it, Smoke. Go ahead. I'm going to step away and take a little break.
All right.
You got it.
What she was saying is absolutely correct. Once these people get here and get settled, the state will have a bigger budget, and that's how they're going to get their money. See, the money that they're giving them right now is just off the U.S. taxpayer. That's who's getting it. Now, you see, and I know everybody is seeing the inflation and everything, and your groceries and your bills and everything, that they bumped everything up to get the money for this project that you have been witnessing. For a long time, I had called this replacement migration because they need another voting block. Because they know now that black folks ain't rocking with the Democratic Party like that. So for them to do that, they had to bring in a whole nother group of people for them to get on the voter block to keep their politics alive, you know. Ergo, this gives us a serious problem, because if you feel like we wasn't getting our fair share ever before, it's about to get a lot worse. It's about to get a lot worse. It's going to piss a lot of people off in big cities. You know, it really is. Look at the state of New York. Look at the state of Chicago. Just look at these states, what they're going through, and it's by design. It is truly by design. Now, you can take what happened back in the days dealing with the government versus Indians, and you can apply the same method to it right now. They had at one point told you, oh yeah, the best place for you to raise your kid would be out in the suburbs, or away from the, grind and pound of the inner cities. And then they moved all them people that was in the suburbs back into the inner cities. And then once they seen that the inner cities ain't what they wanted, they was just playing back and forth, playing you back and forth. And that's what happens. You have to start petitioning this government. If you do care about the government at all, you do have to start petitioning them and letting them know that you're not going to allow this to continually go on. I mean, at some point, the fight is going to hit your yard soon. It's going to hit everybody's yard soon. So you have to get ahead of it now. And the only reason that everything is happening like it is right now is because what we're in right now, another presidential election race. How you doing, Sister Bethy?
Hey, why would Walter Plecker deem all the Indians colored? Why?
Hey, how you doing, Sister Bethy? Peace, straight smoke.
Hi.
And I was on the
What's
phone.
going
How
on
y'all
with it,
doing?
man?
Good. I'm trying to figure out how, and if there's no Asian people listed, like from China or anything in 1830, all you got here is Irish, Dutch, German, French, Italian. Okay. And then you got the Negroes. Where's the Indian? What does the Indian look like?
So, Sister
And
Bethy, my bad. I thought you was finished. I'm sorry.
and you got this Indian Removal Act telling all the Indians to go to Oklahoma voluntarily in exchange for lands in the West. 98% of them stayed, said we ain't going. All right. All you got here is black people and white people. Who's the Indian? And those that will remain will become citizens of this state. So now you got Negro citizens and all the different kind of white Europeans. Where's the Indians? What do they look like? Where's this mysterious Indian? There were no Asian looking people here. Y'all got it. Please explain to me. Who are the Indians that remained? We know all the different white people that came here are not Indians. We cleared them out. Who's left to go? All the white people didn't go to Oklahoma. So, because they're not the Indians, why would they go? Only one left is the Negroes. And they said they ain't going. They said, good, you become citizens. I want to know who the Indians are that remained. Y'all got it.
All right. So you going from 1830 to the racial integrity, right? So that's about 100 years.
No, not racial integrity act, just strictly.
I said that because you brought up Plecker. Because I heard you brought up Walter Plecker.
Oh, that was later on. Now I was asking why would he deem all the Indians as colored, but that's later on. I'm talking about this right here. Sha Shun, you're not coming back up here no more. Why I'm like in 1830. I'm thinking of all the Europeans that could possibly be here, even if they weren't whites, all the different kind of white people. You got German, French, Dutch, all the different kind of white people with the white hair, you know, the natural white person,
Mhm.
Italian. Okay, and then you got the Negroes, and they're telling all the Indians to go to Oklahoma. All right, all the niggas remain here. No white people went because they're not the Indians. So, uh, who's left? Who's left? The only ones that they acknowledged are the ones that got one drop of nigga blood in them as an Indian, even on the reservation. So I'm trying to figure out who's this mysterious Indian. Who are the Indians that remained and became citizens of their states? Who are they? Could have been the white people. All that's left is the Negro. So can you explain who that Indian is in 1830? What did they
Yes,
look like?
I mean they look like the Indians that we know today. Or some people like to call them Native Americans. So
Oh my God. So you're
oh,
saying I'm going to pull up their picture for you and let you talk. Let me get in
a
my
lot of them got
earphones.
mixed. A lot of them got mixed, and that's why Walter Plecker said what he was saying.
Okay, so
But
you're saying these people were here
yeah, the
and
one was
they
yeah.
stayed in all the 50 states. These people right here at the bottom, these Indians, they stayed.
Some of them stayed, yeah, and you can see them on the census. That's what I was trying to tell you. Not all
Okay,
of them left. Not all of them had to leave.
these are the Indians, okay, that stayed in South Carolina, in Connecticut, all the 50 states. These people, and these are the people that fought in the Civil War as well, right?
Yeah, the ones,
Oh,
five
these are the
civilized
people
tribes.
that they, these people right here are the people that fought the Civil War over the land in the South. These people here on the bottom.
So not all Indian tribes fought in the Civil War. The ones that
But I'm
Chinese
just trying to figure out.
Confederacy did. The five
It,
civilized tribes.
so
So
there was
those would be
thousands. It was thousands of them throughout all the 50 states that stayed in their land, right? In the lands, right? These kind of looking people were, and they registered as troops in the war to fight over their land. Otherwise, why would Negroes fight over land that's not theirs? I'm trying to figure this out.
and I'm
Why
trying to
weren't
explain
they?
something to you.
Okay,
So
I'm gonna
you
wait.
you keep putting it out there like it's only two sets of people. It's actually three. You got these white people, you got these Indians, and then you got the Negroes. So the Indians who fought in the Civil War were with the five civilized tribes. Those they sided with the Confederacy. The Negroes who fought in in the Civil War, you could look up contraband, a war, civil war. You could look at the 1862 Militia Act. Those are the Negroes that fought in the war. And then when you look at the ads for the listings for the recruits of these colored troops, they talk about people of African descent. We look at I think it's the 54th Regiment in Massachusetts. Um, so there's always been a separation of these people, right? I can pull up a census right now to show you because you keep saying we're the Indians. I can show you on the 1850 census where you see these Indians. The only ones that went to Oklahoma was part of the five civilized tribes. Every Indian didn't have to leave, like the Indians in my family. They didn't have to leave. They stayed behind. They didn't even affect them. It was only the ones in the South.
May I ask you why the Indians don't look like this? Because these are Lumbee Indians in the South, and they
Yeah, they're
have
mixed.
no features. They have like no features like those funny looking people on the bottom row. These are
'Cause they're
Lumbee
mixed.
Indians. With what? What are they mixed with?
Most likely white. A lot of
Okay,
the
and what?
five civilized tribes they mix with white.
Okay,
That's why they
no,
became
they're mixed with
civilized.
white, and what else are they mixed with? White and what else?
And Indian.
Oh, what Indian? Because they look like Negroes, and I'm kind of confused here.
Who looks like
Why do they?
Negroes? Yeah.
You don't see? Okay, let me give you even better picture of these Lumbees.
I
Here
mean,
you go, buddy. Here's the Lumbee Indians. So you're saying that these
those,
people, these Lumbee Indians here, don't
those
have Negro features.
I doubt that wherever you got this
Okay,
picture from
so
said that it was Lumbee.
these are the Lumbee Indians, and
So
yeah, these are the Lumbee Indians. It's an
Sister
article.
Bucky, the problem with this is we don't know where this picture came from. We have to be.
These
I
are the
don't know.
Lumbee Indians. These are in
I
the
would like to see
historical
where the
society. I'm trying to tell you where you can get this from. It's in a newspaper article. It's a huge matter of fact. Let me pull the article up for you.
yeah, that would help. Thank you.
That will help. All right. Go ahead, Curtis. You got it. I got to pull up
Hey,
this article for this
how y'all
brother.
doing this? How y'all doing this evening, you
Hey,
brothers?
What up,
Hello.
Curtis?
What's up?
Peace,
What's
peace.
up? What's up? Straight eight, straight smoke. What's happening with you,
Man, I can't call it. I can't call it. Another day above dirt is great for me.
man? I had 4 customers a day, man, so I'm spent, bruh. I'm spent, man. It's one of those days, man. So, brother, so my brother, I don't know who this brother is, but I'm sorry, I don't want to slight your name, but you don't think that the so-called Negroes are Indians at all, do you? Is that just taking it that way? Is that what you're saying? That you don't believe that we are the Negro? We are the Negro are the Indians? Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
What part of the country you from, my brother?
from New York.
New York. Okay, man. The history of New York, man. I got an article, man. I wish I was on my computer, man. I got an article. It's a map and everything about the Negroes that was the Indians in New York, man. All I can say is at this point, it's a lot of us who know who we are, know where we come from, and our ancestry, because our ancestors told us, yeah, grandma was Indian, my mama was Indian, or my great grandmother was this. So when you understand that if your grandmother was an Indian or your great grandmother was an Indian, what does that make you? You see what I'm saying? It definitely don't make you an African. It definitely don't make you anybody from the west coast. I mean, the coast of Africa, unless you can trace your lineage to Africa yourself. But everything I done spent thousands of dollars trying to connect myself to Africa, and I can't find the connection. I just can't find it. And and it's just ridiculous at this point to continue with the narrative
So
that we all came from
what
Africa.
ways did you go about trying to find it?
Man, I done bought documents. I done went to the National Archives. I done went everywhere. I got a trip scheduled here in the next month to go down to Mississippi because one of my ancestors in 1870, and I share this story quite frequently, he owned a farmland in 1870. So in 1870, how can a slave or African own land in America?
1870 slavery is over. In
No, but
1870,
that, but bro, that's but at the end of the day, how can he owned 170 acres of land in state line Mississippi? How can
so
that be?
that's cool. So I have family that was not enslaved also.
Okay,
So
okay then. So that lets you know that they wasn't African if they
no, no, no,
wasn't
no, no,
enslaved.
no, because not everybody was enslaved, brother. So in
Exactly.
1870, well, let's say at the end of the Civil War, we had almost 500,000 free black in
No,
America.
go to the 1830 census, and if you look at the 1830 census, it'll tell you there were 12,866 free people of color. Who was the free people of color? They were the Indians.
Those
That's
are
who they were.
no. It just says all other free person. So that's
No,
everybody that's not
no,
white.
it's no,
And
no. It says free
look,
people of color.
it's
It says free
everybody that's
people.
not white.
It says free people of color.
Can I?
I'm telling you
Hello.
what I know. I'm telling you what I
Hello.
know. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can't share this one. I got this one. I
Hello.
got
Real
that one on
quick.
my phone. Go ahead, sis.
Hello. Can you hear me? Hey, this is Girly Girl. Hello to the panel. Hello to the chat. Hello, Sister Bethy.
hey, let me just show him this really, really quick, sweetheart, so he could
Okay.
see that I got this from the archive. Found it. You see that? If here's the it's in the North Carolina State Archives, because this was in Robeson, and
Uh,
these are the Lumbee Indians.
Yeah, but where does it call
And
them lumby at? In the description?
let
oh,
me.
right here. Wait a minute, let me go back. Right here. white men and Robeson County Indians, Lumbee. You see it right here, State
Yeah,
Archives,
it does call
Lumbee
them. They call
Indians,
them that. Okay.
Lumbee Indians, right here. Negro features, kinky hair. I'm just not seeing the
That's not
news
uh,
feature.
that picture does, but the other picture where I don't even know if I can see
This
a
is
black.
the actual article. I'm trying
If
to
I
blow it up.
don't even know if I can see an actual black person in
It
this.
won't.
Kinky hair.
It won't let me.
That's a whole newspaper that I showed you. Wait a minute, it's more. This is all over the place.
But Sister
I don't
Beth,
know
if we
how you
did a
didn't know about this.
comparison, if we did a comparison to the two pictures you showed,
I'm
that picture is
showing
not
you. I'm showing you the that was in the other one that I showed you with
Okay.
the double photos. That was in the newspaper.
Hello?
Let's see. Oh, she lost.
I think she fell
He'll
off.
be right back.
Yeah,
She
I'm
get the
trying
wrong
to.
button.
I can't share it. Jesus. I can't share it, but
Hey,
I can't share that
Sorry about
there
that.
census.
she's back. She's
Hold
back.
up, hold up, y'all. Hold up. That the article that I showed you with the Lumbee Indians, that's in the newspaper, the old newspaper. I gotta go and pull that old newspaper back up, but I could do it another time. But these are Lumbee Indians and they're mixed with Negro. If you look at them, the bottom, and here's more. These are Lumbee Indians. These are not Asian featured people. Little black kids around in the back. That's the Croatian Normal School of Pembroke, North Carolina. The Croatian Indian. They're the same as the Lumbee. Same. You can even look this up. This is the Croatian Normal School at Pembroke, North Carolina, the first Croatian Indian school established and supported by the state. You see these little Negro kids? These are not little Asian kids. And this, I'll find this for you at another time because I want Kurt to get it. But these are Lumbee Indians, all of them. It's in a big ass newspaper article. And it was in 1958. I'm gonna look and see if I can find the 1958 article. But you got it, Curtis. There
Yeah, I
you
was
go.
just. I can't. I'm on
There
my
you go.
phone. So, but at
No,
the end of the
Curtis, I
day,
was
I got it
confused.
up right there.
It does say free person of color in the 1830s. You're right about
that's
that. I was
right.
thinking about the
How,
1791. You
so
got.
how much? How much does it say? It says 12 million, about
Well,
866
I don't
free
know the
people.
total, but
Yeah, I got.
this is what I'm saying. So all other free persons of color, that's just everybody that's not white, right? That could be that's the Native
No,
Americans, that's the
bruh, no,
Negroes.
bruh, no, bruh. They call us colored back in those time frames. Come on, bruh. Come on now. Don't play on your words now. Come on now. You
Yeah,
know
but
what they
that's
called
the,
us.
listen.
You
No,
know what
yes,
they
they
call
call us.
us. Come
Hold on,
on,
hold on.
man.
They call us colored, but that's not
And and
in the sense
and
that they're using it though. They also
and
called Indians colored also.
because we are the
And,
same people, bruh.
but
Come
if you
It's
want
on,
to, if
okay,
you want to
man.
y'all.
accept the word,
All
listen.
right.
If you want to accept the word, you can just go look the word up.
Not
You can look the word
coincidence.
up. It says a person of African descent, mixed or unmixed. If you
I'm
want
done
to, if
with
you
him.
want,
But
yeah,
I'm
bruh, you
done.
got to understand this, man. They keep throwing an African descent in. That wasn't until Jason Jackson's punk ass came and said what he said, bruh. Come on, man.
Let girly girl go, y'all. He
Well, what what I wanted to say was that I noticed when I was looking at the racial descriptions for on the I think it's the ethnic identification form for the federal government. Every other race identity has a place of origin. The Black and African American, it doesn't even give you a place where this supposed race began. It doesn't give you a country. It doesn't give you a continent of their origin. So that harkens back to what you were saying, Sister Bethy, was that the Black part of it was meant to remove us completely from any sort of origin story, because you have to do that in order to be able to remove the people from the land, and then you need to be able to enumerate them so that you can tax them, so that you can create a revenue stream for the government. You can't do that if you give these people a place of origin, because then at that point they're going to have to trace and say, well, how did these people get here? That's why I want to ask,
Mm-hmm.
not a coincidence, when you say that these 500,000 people that were listed on the census as free, and my question to you is then, if you're saying that these persons are African, how did they get here? because we know that Africans were not seafaring people. There weren't even enough trees for them to be able to build boats in the first place. So they weren't builders of boats. They weren't navigators of the seas. So these 500,000 people, if they weren't brought here via slavery for them to work, because you said they were free persons, then how did they get here? And then what money did they use to accumulate this wealth in land and property? Because this is the position that these people held in society. They were landowners. They were voters. They got a chance to vote and participate in government. They had wealth. It was in the land. They had oil and mineral rights. So these persons had to have a way that they accumulated this. So if the government, did the government give it to them? How did they accumulate this? Because you're saying that these people were people of color, as you put it, even though that's a relatively modern term.
That's what the census said.
Yeah, a relative, and I mean, of course, we know that the records were reconstructed, but that's not here nor there. But I just want to know, from your perspective, what is your story behind how these people got here and accumulated this wealth, these 500,000 free Negroes, as you say?
Okay, so we can start in the 1600s with Anthony Johnson, right? He was an indentured servant. Why would I say 2 words? I can't even get 2 words. Though I'm trying to be real respectful.
I'm just laughing. I just thought that was funny. But go ahead. I'm
with
sorry.
Anthony Johnson, he's a real person. We could trace his lineage up today.
I hope Chief Holiday will jump on the piano.
who descend from Anthony Johnson. But with Anthony Johnson, he was an indentured servant. He wasn't a slave. He came over here, worked, he did his time. He got what is called head rights. Head rights is after your indentured servitude is up, they give you 250 acres of land. He's not
the land. The head rights is not the land. The head rights is just the minerals on the land.
Hold on. I didn't cut anybody else. No, I'm not trying to cut nobody else.
Well, I just want you to know that it's not the head rights is not the actual land. The head rights is just the minerals on the property. We're talking about the oil. We're talking about any lithium deposits that's on the land. I know that because my family has land in Oklahoma, Indian land, and we only have the head rights. That's because they can't strip that from us. So the head right is never the land. It is just the minerals. And hold up, the only way that you're going to have that is if you have a true inheritance to that land. That was Indian land that was given to that man.
All right, that's not true.
It's not the actual property. Head rights is just the minerals.
So
it's just the oil.
Rights. All right, I don't know why we getting stuck on head rights. You want to know about these free black people and where they come from, right? Okay, you got people like Anthony Johnson who got this thing called head rights. You get it after indentured servitude. You got 250 acres of land. He wasn't the only one. Whatever, you can say no. You can look it up. He got this land. There's others that's getting this land, and this free population starts from there. You got other black people who are being enslaved. They get free over time, whether they paid for it, whether they ran away.
Can I just ask you this one question when you finish? I got one statement to make. Who was John Hanson?
Hold up. Wait a minute.
No. Hold, sis. Hold on a second.
Oh, you got two John. Which one?
The one that was the president of the continent of the
He's
Confederacy.
A white man.
No,
a white man. And you have the other John Hanson who was from Maryland and was over in Liberia. Two different people.
No, John Hanson was the first first president of the United States, my brother, of the Confederacy.
Listen, you got it wrong, brother. That is a white man. He was the president of the federal continental.
He was on the back of the $2 bill. If you think I'm
and he's a white man, brother. And he's a white man.
Well, who was the brother sitting on? So who's the brother sitting against on the back of the $2 bill? Look it up.
White man. I'm gonna look it up. I don't have to look it up. I already know what it is.
Okay, so you say he was a white man, but he don't look the same as
two different ones. It's two different John Hansons. You getting caught up with?
No, I'm not getting caught up. I'm asking the question.
It is. Look, it's this John Hanson. This is who you talking about, right? Right? He was in Liberia. He was not in. He was not in. He wasn't. Listen. No, he wasn't. Bro.
Is that Wikipedia? Man, is that Wikipedia?
You can call it what you want.
Is that Wikipedia?
It's two different John Hansons, brother.
I ask you a question. Is that Wikipedia?
See, it's Wikipedia, yes.
Okay, that's not a source. Thank you, sir.
Senator Hanson has sometimes been misidentified as being John Hanson of Maryland,
So you
a white
trusting
politician
you
who served.
trusting
No,
so
this is the history, bro. You can actually look it up. You can
so
actually
you're
look up
trusting
the
how
history.
can I
You
okay
are
but
you're confused, brother.
no, I'm not confused. So you're saying that Wikipedia is a valuable source that you're trying to use. That's not a valuable source, my brother. I hate to tell you.
You can call listen. You can use a
Hold
genetic
on.
fallacy as it's
The
not a valuable source or
the
whatever. Sister
creator, the
does have
creator of the
Wikipedia,
creator,
and I didn't hear anybody
the
saying, "Oh no, that's not good." When she pulled up
the white boy that created that particular website said it's the most misrepresented information
so why didn't you
in the
say
world.
that? Nothing. We're not doing that, brother. You got, like I said,
I'm
Senator
not
Hanson
fussing with you. I'm just
sometimes
telling
been
you the fact.
misidentified as being John Hanson of
Oh,
Maryland, a
so you
white
trust in
politician
Wikipedia
served
when we all
as a
know that
president. You
Wikipedia
can
is
look it
crap.
up, brother. Matter of fact, you can go find them and in the archives,
Yes,
bro, the
sir.
National Archives.
Yes,
You
sir.
can go
Yes,
do
sir.
that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sister Betsy, do
So
you remember when not a coincidence said that slaves
Oh,
and
this is not
indentured
no
servants
coincidence.
were
Okay.
two different people? Do you remember that?
I
All I can
doubt
say is,
I'm pretty
hold on,
sure you
hold.
might be listening to me. But
All I
I
can
want to
say is,
share something with y'all real quick.
okay, my brother. With all due
So
respect.
this is a newspaper from 1932, right? So what is happening here is people were asked to write in. This is everyday people. They was asked to write in to figure out what we should call ourselves, right? This is in
That
1932.
noise is coming from Curtis. Okay.
It was in 1932. The Afro Reader who vote in and Negro color game, right? So you're supposed to you, you send in this card and you write in what you think we should be called and your reason, and then they it's a vote. This went on for a whole month. So and none of this will you find us black people talking about we are Indians.
We were not
Nobody
allowed
is saying we
to
Indian.
we were not allowed to do that, sir.
Yeah, listen, Sister Bethy,
If
I don't know
we
why you're
were
saying that
to
because
say
we
that
can
we
actually
were
find
Indians,
Indians
we were killed.
like
We
this.
said,
I wanted to show you. This is
brother,
he's claiming to be
brother,
Indian.
brother, if we said we were Indians, we were killed. That what you're reading is in 1975. That's
No,
a
now, yeah,
different
that's in
time.
1970. But listen,
That's
he's telling a
1975.
story. He's
Try
telling
that.
a story. He was a
Try
listen.
that. Try
He's
that.
92. Listen, hold on, Sister Betty. I'm not trying to cut you off. He's 92 in 1975. He's talking about when they got allotted land and all this other stuff. So now he's not a viable person to go to. This is Charles Davis, 92, a Creek freedman.
Sir,
He spoke the Indian languages and everything. He's living in Oklahoma.
all the Negroes did.
All the Negroes did not live in and speak
We
Indian language.
wait. All the Negroes spoke Indian languages.
So look, but
It was
look,
very
listen, this is what
clear.
he says. This is what he says. He said Creek Indians brought their Negro slaves with them when they moved from Georgia and Alabama to Indian Territory in 1828, says Mr. Davis. Yes, Indian had slaves, just as the white did. The whites traded
Yeah,
slaves to the
they
Indians
were
for
our
Indian land
families.
and
They
in
were our
Alabama and
families.
Georgia. Hold on. Creek Indians were very fair with their slaves. They treated them kindly. Many Creeks intermarried with Negroes. So we understand these are two different people. When the Creeks divided their land into allotments in 1906 in Oklahoma, their former slaves and children and grandchildren of slaves were given equal shares. Black Indians and Creek Negroes who never intermarried with the Indians were all given. Now you see, these are different people never intermarried with the Indians were all given the same allotment as full-blooded Creeks. Mr. Davis said, every man, woman, and child each got 160 acres. The black minister had a vivid recollection of the day the allotments were made. I was a
Because
teenager at the
they were
time.
moved
I
to
can remember.
Oklahoma,
Listen,
and
he
they
said,
were allotted
he
lands.
said,
All the
listen,
Indians were, and they
listen, I'm
got
gonna be done right here.
allotted lands.
I'm gonna
Yo,
finish right here. I was a
brother,
teenager at the time, and I can remember when the Indian
brother,
chiefs commenced to allot the Creek land. The question came up what to do with the Negroes.
we were given land when we got to Oklahoma, brother. My God, what is wrong with you? I
Yeah,
feel bad. At this point, I feel bad.
Even your source here
Negroes
is
is
saying the
Indian.
Indian and the black
And the
person is
Negro, because the white person was deemed as the Indian when they got the nigger blood. I keep telling you, and y'all, you just don't want to see it. As the Negroes and Indians work side by side on the farm and in the shop, their natural traits are conspicuously illustrated. The Indian is the quicker, the more agile on a spurt, but his black brother has vastly more staying power. The Indian has the more able and nimble legs, but the Negro is better developed in the chest and arms,
two
all
different
because
people.
of various obvious reasons. That's his brother.
They're two
They
different
favor the
people.
white. They favor the white one. What is wrong with you? And they use black and Negro interchangeably. They made the white person that had the Indian blood. You get the blood from the Negro. It's even the tribal law that the Negro is the Indian. That's the law. You only way a white person could be an Indian is if they get the blood from the black person. There's no other race of
Indian. Like
people.
this.
I think at this point,
People say it's
Oh
two
man,
different people.
yeah,
I
I'm
think
gonna stop here.
I
But
think at this
y'all
point,
was great.
See,
Y'all was great.
whenever y'all look bad, that's when y'all want to stop.
No,
Your
we
source
don't
No.
look bad.
it's
Oh
not
no,
about looking
buddy.
bad.
We look
Nobody
good,
is.
honey. I got 1,227 people, and none of them are with you. Either of you. 1,000. Do you see who's in here? None
oh
of them
no,
are with you.
I understand that, but
Baby, baby,
I
no,
don't
we don't
expect
look
that.
bad.
They
We
come
look
here
real
for that.
good.
They
We
come
look
here
real
for that.
we
No,
look
no,
real
no.
good. We look
Mr.
real
Betsy, you
good,
have a
boo
great
boo.
channel over here. You have a great channel. I don't mean bad in
I
that
know
sense.
I
I'm
do.
talking about with the
But
source that you
we
pulled
we
up.
we standing on who we are, honey. Your evidence. Thanks for it.
But even
Um,
your evidence said it was two different people. If we can go to,
no,
if we pull that book up,
no. Well,
Just don't
have
they
get
made
it.
them two different
We just
people. They
don't
it
get
made
it.
the
So
white
you
person.
two different
They
people.
made the white person the Indian.
Oh,
They
the
made
white
the
person
white
will be the
person.
third
They
person.
made the white person the Indian. They made the white person the Indian. Nigga blood. Nigga, 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 nigga. They made the white person the
That's
Indian.
it.
At this
I'm
point,
That's
serious.
though,
all.
I mean,
I just
it's just so sad. The Indian cave here in South Carolina, that is a Negro, were
I,
the Aboriginal Indians who settled in the Turks and Caicos Islands over 1,000 years ago. Do you see who that is up there? That's not no white woman.
She be
Aboriginal
Negro.
Indian.
She be
Man,
Negro.
I can't. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to do. These little kids got nigger features. Look at their hair. Come on. These are not little Asians. Lumbee Indians in Jim Crow South.
Not yeah.
What's Jim Crow? What is Jim Crow South? These are little black features. Look at the little blackies. And then guess
There were
what?
only two people.
They weren't allowed. They made it a law. And that these little kids, because they got the nigger blood, you can see the little nigger one right here in the middle, right here, these two, that they were not allowed to marry the darker people. It was a law. This little girl right here, she's half Indian, half Negro. They made it a law for them not to marry Negroes. They wanted to keep it white.
There's only two
Look at the
people.
title: Race, Identity, and the Making of a Nation. Boy, it's done. That's it. I'm done right there. That was enough right there. That says it right there. Race, identity, and the making of a nation.
we
But
definitely
anyway,
stand
you guys,
divided. We definitely
exactly.
we stand divided, and until we come together and
We ain't ever
we
gonna
stand.
come.
I know we're not. A lot of people
We
want to
ain't
hold
ever
on
gonna
to
come together.
that
And
diaspora out of Africa. So I mean, at the
right.
end of the day, do what you got to do. If Africa
Yeah.
gets you over, then Africa gets you over. I mean, but
So be it.
as I said, I've tried to make that connection and I can't find it. I promise you, thousands of dollars I done wasted on that shit.
Right.
It's just ridiculous.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous at this point, man. So, brother,
It
not a
is.
coincidence. With much love and respect, you stand on your principles and continue doing. If it's working for you, then that's what's working for you. But there's a reckoning coming. It's a reckoning coming, and you need to be on one side of the fence, because I guarantee you that African American and all that shit that is not attached to America, it's gonna get some people hemmed up. It's gonna get some people hemmed up.
I think this is the most hilarious article. Somebody got background with ice and cups and glasses. Could you mute?
That's me. That's me. I'm
Oh,
sorry. I'm
God.
in here. I'm in here cooking.
I'm gonna leave it leave this up so we can laugh at the original Southerners, this Photoshop picture, because I've been on for 3 hours and I'm losing my voice. I love y'all.
No, thank
And
you,
I
Sister
think
Beverly, for the bill.
I think I proved my point today, and
Yes, you did.
As usual.
I'm
per
gonna
usual.
say I love y'all.
Sister
I'm
Beverly,
gonna
before I
say
go,
I
I just
love
like
y'all. No, I'm gonna go now. I've had enough. I'll come back tomorrow maybe, but it's been great. Not a coincidence. Girly girl,
Thanks, Sister Becky.
curious. Not a coincidence. You welcome, love. Straight smoke.
Thank
Love
you, Sister
y'all.
Betsy.
Love y'all, and I'm so
Love you
out of
too.
here because I'm tired. Bye bye, y'all. See
Bye.
y'all tomorrow.
Bye bye. Peace, everybody.